across top luggage stairs, and this time it's TJ watching it along with Clayster. Like you said, the team shots there did not allow Hydra to get top luggage again. And then from there on out, it was just the response. No more nades, no chows came out over by the A-bomb site, so you just got to rotate accordingly. Set yourself up inside a kitchen. Great reactions coming up from Vegas with a one-round lead yet again.
New York once again going to go over towards this very similar defensive setup. Kismet over towards B as the sole defender. Sky's watching the cross in through mid. But the difference is Hydra is going to be playing kind of alongside Priesta's angle. And TJ, oh no, can't quite get away. Was tagged up from a multitude of different forces of damage. Hydra's the one to get the kill, but Clayster does shrug off Skies from the mid angle. Maybe still a chance for Vegas to still consider this A site, but they want to maybe feel things out a little bit further towards this mid-counters position.
If they want to try to push over towards B, it's all going to rely on Standy. Clayster tried getting inside bottom bedroom. Temp didn't even have an angle to try to assist him. And the moment that Standy tries to come help out through the middle of the map, everybody falls flat. Proper reaction coming out from Hydra right there. I totally agree. I mean, all off the first blood, it's just individual gunfight after individual gunfight. You're forced to make a play happen if you are New York in that point in time. And this is why Hydra had such a reaction right there. Versus an AR at that range, Hydra's just shooting pretty damn crispy in this map number 5. I'll even things up once again.
The curveballs that we're seeing from New York in previous rounds defensively are keeping Vegas away from being able to fully hit something right off the go. So when you get this back and forth of New York full stacking through mid, charging you at archways, and then the next defense, wait a second, no one's pushing anywhere. Vegas just don't have the ability to get the map control early. Hydra, very similarly, going to make his play right across. This time he does survive. Clayster, though, still tallies first blood, plus one more behind it. Hydra would need to double up here. He does get away from the second contestant and then flies his way back to bottom bar. This leads to a 2v2.
How does Hydra able to get himself inside of info just so scot-free? I mean, the one thing working for Vegas is that Clay found that first blood plus an extra, but now you're forced to try to deny more map away for some information, and Clay gets caught mid-tack sprint. The bomb's now in a recoverable position for Priesta. TJ in 1v2.
And he's got a fast enough at range. You don't love this, but of course, the question mark on where is Hydra keep TJ from playing over towards bedroom side. Priesta thought about the plant, backed off. TJ's damage decent. A little cheeky jump up from Priesta, trying to at least get some damage into play. TJ looking for the tag, gets it, backs away. 30 seconds on the clock. Priesta back on for the plant. Regen in for TJ. Does he get the exit? Does he get the toe tags? He stops him from planting. 1v1 now with Hydra, who collects the bomb, but does not play for the immediate plant. Just literally laying on top of Priesta's dead body. Here comes TJ. The check. Shot's decent. Hydra stays alive, but no! Can't quite find the gunfight, and TJ clutches a 1v2.
You can always count on TJ showing up in the search and destroy. Everybody popping off for TJ there. You saw Temp and Standy just gassing it up, even in the cameras. That is just so wonderfully played right there. And I honestly felt like that Hydra was about to immediately collect and immediately plant. Would probably put himself in a really good condition to try to win out that round. But TJ just does not budge. He doesn't try to rewrap through statue, which Hydra was expecting the challenge to come through the waterfall side. Doesn't happen. And TJ just playing along with the clock, checks it at the utmost perfect time. Catches Hydra mid-plant attempt. Vegas with a one-round lead once more.
And this time, Vegas wasting no time whatsoever. Same defensive setup for New York again. Hydra, good first blood. Semtex out, and this is the problem with just trying to rush into A when New York have this type of a setup. Clean kills lead us to a very early 3v2 for New York.
Bombs collected. TJ's on the site. He's trying to plant it. Priesta didn't see him. He's covered by the display case. Skies, the wallbang shots through the door of luggage. Not going to collect any damage on the TJ. Bomb laid down.
TJ's thinking about making the cross. Was he scouted? Priesta was on rotation. He may not have seen TJ. But New York, it's all about trying to clear out this player in the back. Problem is, now TJ's position is known, and New York's gonna have to go quickly. Dead silence about to expire. Temp pops up, finds the kill into Kismet. Priesta for the 1v2. Coming quickly, no! Temp catches him on the backside staircase. Denies the attempt for a clutch. And now Vegas take a demanding lead.
You want to close this out here. If you're Vegas, you don't want to try to maybe swim around 11. And when TJ's playing like this, his decision-making on point. His shot is looking crisp. The trust that Temp can hold down the back display case there at P4 is just so good. And it's like you even asked, with that time of Dead Silence being popped, TJ diving across to the top luggage stairs and catches Skies by surprise because Priest gave up the angle quite some time ago as they try to rewrap around the back. Series point for Vegas.
And 10 crucial points on the leaderboards at hand. New York feeling things out. Clayster, first blood. Temp still scouting over to the top side of bars. Sky's trade does alert that Temp very well could get into a long-range gunfight. But Standy, how about this play? At just 1 and 7, he's looking to go really quickly to clear out this position, but no, he misses out on the chance of the opening gunfight. Sky stays alive. Trophy system keeps him safe from Clayster's utility. And just like that, New York bring it to a 3v2 in their name.
And you're forced to play isolated now. If you are Clayster and Temp, Temp has to go pick up the middle of the map to try to deny the wrap over towards B because the bomb has not been planted at A yet. Clayster has to be careful if he tries to swing wide. There's a lot of ARs looking at this top bad position.
This is all about timing. Temp trying to get around the back. Clay, just misses out on a chance at Priesta. So now it falls on the Temp on 4 in a row. Looks down, sees another tag. He was hoping for a Vaznev. But for a 1v3, no Dead Silence in total. And the 10 crucial leaderboard points. Can Temp find a way to isolate? Does see Skies, topside bar. The question, though, is where is Priesta come to? Temp on the move. Skies throwing shoulders. Temp has seen this. Couple of shots trying to bait Priesta out, but man, he's just not taking the bait at all. Very wisely holding his ground. 15 seconds. Temp has to make the play. It looks like he very well just may concede the round in favor of holding the 4 streak.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely the right call. I mean, if you are Vegas, right, you have this 2-round lead will be diminished, of course, to 1. But, I mean, if you can get a cruise missile on a map like Hotel, we've seen how deadly it is. Hardpoint control, search and destroy. The splash damage can find a lot of value when it comes down post plant or retaking over there by lights. But it's a gamble. Again, it all mostly comes down to the unfortunate disaster of Standy not finishing his food. I mean, he had Skies dead to rights on that Godheady.
Yeah.
Just unable to get that last bullet, even a half a bullet. I think a cold breeze would have taken Skies out of that round. Would have forced out at least a 2v2 ARs on both sides, but not going to be the case. New York, 1 round away from forcing out another round 11.
Different setup this time for New York. They're not going to play aggressive in towards couches. They're going to double stack in and around bedroom to watch the cross towards A. Vegas, can you get the information on this? Guy's tagged up. Temp just windshield wipers his way to a kill, but Hydra down low takes down 2. Hydra's isolated, and that does lead to an opportunity for TJ to secure the trade, but in a 2v2, Kismet's looking to go quickly. Temp has picked this up, though. The timing of this read is exquisite. Kismet does get out, realizes that his plan has been foiled, and Vegas, with those tags, will look for a plan on A.
It's redemption time. You covered space. Get the bomb planted today. You know that Kismet might try to flirt with the flank. They just don't know where Priesta might be located at.
TJ opts to stay on the bomb, though. Dead Silence out. TJ does get across. We stay 2v2. Priesta through the bottom. Temp takes shots. Oh, the damage is so severe. Trying to flip around, though. Priesta for the 1v2. No, not going to happen. It's a hit back through mid, and Vegas will stay away from around 11 and put themselves 10 points closer to keeping the gap for that place at top 8. New York will have to wait and try again to lock their position for champs.
You saw the air just leave TJ's lungs with a smile on his face. Have yourself a map number 5, TJ Howley. He was just about doing everything that he possibly could. Decision making was on point. Shots, team shots included, absolutely on point. Even in that final moment, that was his 11th kill to make the call with the bomb being planted. Also just getting away with his life. Still not fully maybe confirming that Kismet was on the flank until Temp got those shots onto him. It just set up TJ for the utmost perfect flank to come through statue. To pinch up on the damage that Temp was finding over by the Godheady. How about it? Vegas, stay alive in the run for champs. 6-4 in the final map here versus New York.
What a series. What an unbelievable series this was between these two squads. And you kind of heard it from the desk. They were talking that, hey, New York, if they're going to continue to try to build on their map fluency and flex in some picks that we have not often seen from them, it does leave the door open for Vegas to take the series. And they get it done on the 1-3-5, even in the face of an absolute beatdown on the Hydro hardpoint. Thing is, we get to the same thing about the Fortress hardpoint for Vegas looking to New York, and even more so, the Expo control, just clean with it was Vegas from start to finish.
Again, a lot of explaining to do for New York when it comes down to Expo. You got to have it prepared for Major 5 and even Champs as well. But Vegas, stock's never looking better for Vegas to potentially make that run happen for top 8.
Lots of reactions to be had. So with that, we bring back in Puckett and the desk to break down their thoughts and, well, see if Vegas can keep this miracle run alive.
Let's go Vegas, and shout out to Nameless calling out Clayster as our player to watch. He was the difference maker in that Game 5 getting the first bloods, but he also set the tone with that game number 1. The veteran still got it, Nameless.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was going crazy. I mean, you're talking about MVP of the series. Clay was willing them to victory on both those maps. I mean, he took over in that hard point. So many multi-kills, had 29 non-traded. And then we get to that control, the most important map of the series. It's 1-1 at that point. What happens? The very first round, they need Clay to make a heroic effort. Round 1, he finds 3 kills, leading them to that first defensive win. And from then on out, they steamroll them the rest of that map. So for Las Vegas Legion, man, clutching up in your rounds in this game, TJ's 1v2, an incredible series for them.
I mean, the fact that they went to Game 5 versus Optic Texas yesterday and now go Game 5 against New York and end up closing it out. Again, we talk about them having top 3 strength of schedule heading into Major 5 as a team that is trying to force their way in that top 8 bubble. They needed to start clutching up, and that is exactly what they're doing. I feel like Major 4 was a wake-up call for Vegas Legion and their performance, as it seems like they have seriously taken to practice and have completely overturned a lot of their gameplay. And I thought we would never see Expo control again. I thought we would
New
never
York
see
trolled.
it.
We talked about the map set.
They're not trolling.
No,
they're preparing, right?
It's fair.
This is a troll. I think putting Expo up against Vegas Legion, which is technically their best control map, I don't think at this point, especially when you're in New York subliners, you don't try a map pool test right now, especially not in control. You're a strong respawn team.
Well, they have to, right? They almost have to. They're going to get exposed versus top teams. But problem is, it doesn't look like they made any Expo strides in the last couple of weeks, right? So I think they were thinking that going into this series that they were going to win map 1. They probably thought they had the massive edge on that fortress. Clay just went absolutely ham. And then what happens? You lose that game 3, now all of a sudden you're at a disadvantage. So
we gotta take a look at our Hummer extract mode. While New York didn't get the win, they do get our GMC EV extract mode play, and it comes from a man named Hydra. Hydra taught me during this game that you can do 3 180 dolphin dives and somehow get past 3 Vegas players. Look at this
That's
stuff.
Neo right there, bro. I mean, like, how the movement was crazy. He dolphin dived sideways, got out of the room, backwards dive to couches, played his life, and finesses with the Deddy all the way on the reflank, and they end up winning this round. Just incredible movement, preserving his life out of Hydra.
That is Hydra with our Hummer extract mode, but he gets an L today. The W and the 10 points go to Vegas Legion. We have Clayster on the line right now, the man who's been fired up since yesterday at 3 p.m. Clay, I know how meaningful these matches have been for you this week. We can see it on your face in game. What are you saying to the squad? What's happening on the comms? What's it like right now in a very pressure-filled situation?
Just a lot of passion, Puckett. We really want to make champs. We know how important all these matches are. I mean, I smell like shit. I'm sweating so hard. Like, we are trying so hard to win these matches. Like, I got to go shower right after this interview, man.
Clay,
You look good.
WGAS. I want to ask you, because obviously you guys finally started in winners. It's not the showing that you wanted to happen, you know, and now we head into Major 5 qualifiers. It's the last stride for you guys to try and clinch top 8. What was that conversation like following Major 4 and bombing out the way that you did unexpectedly from us and as you as players?
Yeah, the conversations, I mean, obviously weren't good. We got absolutely speed ran by New York and then choked a 5-2 lead, Game 5 with a streak against Florida, and that's just like one of the most heartbreaking ways to lose. We know how important it all is, but we also understand that we still have a stage left. Like, we're not in last place, we're not in 11th place, we're not in 10th place. Like, we're on the cusp. Like, we're 3 matches worth of points behind. We just got to understand that. Like, everyone's talking about, oh, your strength of schedule is so bad. Like, it doesn't matter who we play. We've always played the top teams really tight this year, so I think it's actually better for us that we play better teams this stage, because we play up and down to our competition consistently. So better practice for us, better reps for us, and hopefully we can keep these points going.
Love that attitude. That's awesome.
Heck yeah. Yo, Jim, so it's 2023. You just had 11.1K damage, a 1.2, absolutely taken over in that series. I was not expecting to see a stat line like that out of you going into this one versus New York. Just a couple days ago, I saw you weren't getting picked in 8s and things like that. How does that, like, going into this, are you trying to make a statement? Like, because you've been taking over these first 2 matches.
Yeah, 100%. I think that I've been super lackluster all year, and especially my LAN performances haven't been as good. I think I've been not being selfish enough, if that makes sense. And so I've really kind of found my own and understand when to be selfish and when to play as a team. Like, I'm one of the biggest team players you'll meet, so it's been a hard adjustment for me to be more selfish. And I think that's really what I've found. I've been grinding a ton, playing a lot of VODs. I mean, I'm still trying to play. And if I go out with a whimper, who knows if I'll get a spot next year. So I'm really trying to put my all into this, and you can see it on my face, on my reaction right there, like how much this means to me. I really want to qualify for champs, and we're doing that, hopefully.
Yo, that's better get a spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, if someone's selling a franchise, you're the first man I'm calling. Clay, congrats on the win. We're going to let you go. Before you go, though, who's going to be the star to watch in your next matchup against Atlanta?
Star to watch versus Atlanta. I mean, me, right? Just on the star to watch.
That's
watch
the
me.
guy.
All right.
That was the answer I was hoping you were going to say. I was going to say it for you if you didn't. Clayster, thanks for joining us. We'll let you go.
Thanks for having us, guys. Thanks for having me.
That is Clayster in our Monsters Winner Circle. Let's now, of course, talk about some more competitions that are going down. World Series of Warzone is up and running. The qualifiers are live. Scan that QR code to get in on the action. Bigger, badder, madder than ever. World Series of Warzone with the first ever in-person grand final this season. And, of course, we've got our in-game bundle. If you're not rocking your Night Runner yet, pick it up right now. We've got some blueprints, some awesome gear, and Allie's got that character model in her rank games.
Yeah, I absolutely do. That's definitely not a lie whatsoever. Make sure you pick it up, guys.
Yep, look just like her. We'll be back, and when we do, we have the Rocker looking to extend the gap back to 3 games. Can they get a second win on the night? They take on the Breach after this.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL, and the GMC Hummer EV pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck.
Minnesota, make some noise. We are about to kick off your second match of the home series as we have the 8th-seeded Rocker taking on 7th-seeded Boston. Both teams desperate to lock in their spot at COD Champs come June 15th. We're just a few weeks away from heading up to Canada for our Toronto Major. 3 weeks of qualifiers before we get there, and a big matchup for our Boston squad that we haven't seen in a bit. Before we talk about this matchup, though, I want to give a shout out to our Challengers players. And it's not just fame from the Rocker who is making moves in Challengers. We have a Challengers Cup going on right now. And someone from Allie's WXC, the all-ladies competition, is making some power moves.
Yeah, in case you guys forgot, I'm hosting women's tournament, the WXC. We just finished our seeding matches, and one of our players from Team Phoenix, our top 2 teams, is actually going for a top 8 placing right now. She's playing for Stallions Red, which is Zuma's Challengers team. She got plugged in a couple of days ago, and they are playing their top 8 matchup right now if you guys want to go check that out. But shout her out, she's gross. They plugged her into a scrim against like Zuma, Octane, Abizi, just to be like, let's see how good these players really are.
And why did we want to call out that reverse sweep? Because we have seen it recently, and the Rocker pulled it off against Seattle at the last major. Can they survive a situation like that again, though, against Boston today?
Going down 0-2 to Boston in an online portion, especially going on to a CeeLo. Now, granted, Minnesota's been good there. Boston have also been very good at a CeeLo control.
Yeah.
That could be some tough territory. But Minnesota, they are at home. They got their crowd in front of them. So far, in front of that crowd, they have dominated, Chris.
Afro was looking stellar. He earned our MVP honors for the first matchup that just went 3 games. Now that you're facing off against a totally different opponent, though, who do you think is going to be the key player to watch? Not just necessarily the most important or most successful killer on the team. Who is the key player to watch in this match?
Not the most successful player on the team. So what I'm saying is I'm not allowed to call out Afro and Cammy from that situation. Honestly, I want to call out Vance. One of the most heads-up players on Minnesota Rockers. When he is feeling comfortable on the map, it's when they're winning the most comfortably. But when it comes to the Monster Energy pregame, Afro obviously continue his domination from the day. This guy has been a Lanimal, a 1.26 overall versus London, and do a better job on your holds and hardpoint. They were broken 5 times in the series earlier today, and that's been kind of a slip up for the Minnesota Rockers throughout this entire season. And they're going up against a Boston Breach that is really solid in respawn.
I just want to see what nade spots they have lined up for game 2. Keep your eyes on Bance. We, of course, have to take our eyes over to Boston Breach, though, because they are making some big moves. You saw Vivid put on the bench for Major 4. They bring Kremp in from the Challenger scene, and the team doesn't get the success they were looking for. Now they put Nero on the bench, put Vivid back in the starting lineup. So as we take a look at our Monster Energy pregame, you got to return to solid hardpoint form with Vivid back in the lineup. With Vivid, they were 26-20 without just 1 win in their last 9. I think that's the only sentence you need to read if you're a Boston fan today.
Absolutely. I mean, they're bringing Vivid back in. The kills weren't even a problem without Vivid. I mean, they were still getting kills, but they need somebody to calm them down in these big situations. We thought it would be Beans. That has not been the case. And I can't wait to get to a listen-in today to hear what their comms are sounding like with Vivid back on the squad. We got that name. That just threw me off in the bottom right. Yeah. If they were one player, if they hit the fusion, they would be dominant. But no, I'm very excited for Vivid today, back where he should be. He should have never been put on the bench in the first place.
I like that. Nameless has a whole YouTube video about it. If you disagree, go check it out. Put it in the comments. Here we go, though. Quick predictions before we send it to the casters. Who takes the second matchup here in Minnesota?
Boston.
Boston takes it.
Boston.
I'm going Minnesota. Let's make the home crowd happy as we send it over to the casters for this one. We got Miles, the Ross boss, and of course, my man Stud.
Thank you very much, Des. Yeah, we're ready to go. This is going to be a good one. The crowd is lit. I don't know what they've been drinking in the downtime, but they enjoyed that last series and they're ready to roll, Jay.
This is going to be a banger, Ross. Talking about the battle of the 7th seed. We already saw Minnesota play once today. They got the clean 3-0 versus London, and then Boston Breach. They had to make the roster change. They bring Vivid back into the lineup because they were abysmal in hardpoint. Des touched on it. 1-8 in their last 9 HPs. You cannot beat any of the top teams if you are not winning this mode, but this is such a square up, man. I'm super excited to get into this series. I think it has the potential to go 5.
Could go 5. Well, let's find out if Boston Breach made the right choice with that roster move, because we're going to hardpoint first into our first of 2 hotels to start things off here. And already, Jay, I can't lie, I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Will it be the continuation of Boston struggles, or, man, this home crowd.
It's already a good start, though, Ross. Already a good start for Minnesota, starting on the better side. 20 uncontested seconds on P1. Afro sitting at 3-0 already. All the kills going in favor of the Rocker. They're looking to try to flip those spawns. A couple more kills, and it's going to be theirs, but Boston Breach with a couple players coming off spawn at the right time, able to get those preferred sides for P2. But what a start to this P1, a flawless hold from Minnesota.
I mean, they're looking to take as much of this time as humanly possible. Great work again out of the Rocker squad. 3-0 from Faith. We'll stay on board with him for a moment as Boston Breach, they find their kills, they get themselves over to P2. So at the very least, they'll be able to soak the opening seconds there. But 53 garnered off a P1, that is a ton.
Yeah, you'll take that. You will absolutely take that if you are Rocker, because now you have multiple different situations where you can decide to break on towards this P2, take your time, a little bit of crawling through the hill as Afro finds the first, but Vivid is there for the trade. So Boston Breach so far holding down the first push. Vivid combines for 3 in a row. They shut it down, and now with 35 seconds left, Minnesota give this one more push to try to find the break before they call that rotation.
Great bounce back. Not quite done yet. They're not going to be able to get right back into the lead, but they'll get very, very close indeed. Over now to Beans. Gun still smoking hot. Oh, he's got the knife out! Fame just gets too close. Takes care of Biz. Hard point in the hands of Rocker for a moment. Awakening. Can he get involved? He's involved. More than that. Gets the kill on Cammy. Final 10 going to his team.
And now it's all about this rotation. And there's 2 players already here for Boston Breach. Vivid is at least able to find the first. Would look like to be a great start for Minnesota Rocker. Can easily be wiped if Boston Breach can get a great hold in towards the kitchen. You have Awakening watching that mid cross. He does get cut down though, so there's more players here from Minnesota attacking from all angles.
Beef safe and secure over there by the breezer side of the map. Here comes Crypt to reinforce. Afro dives through the door. No way he manages to catch out that player over to Vivid now. He does get the stick. Nice work from Vivid there to try to stem the flow of Rocker players. Now we're on the point. Awakening outside, trying to make his way forward now. Ben Vance, he's going to be the man in the time for a moment. Beans with a wall bang. Trays once again. Jay is another banger in kitchen.
It's another banger in kitchen, my friend. But Boston Breach with more bodies on this side of the map should be able to get this final 20 and take the lead early on into this HP. Now going to force Rocker off that early rotation. They know where the pressure's coming in from, though. They're going to try to be aggressive up through the middle of the map, not let anyone slip on by. But Beans and Kremp already find himself in a great position to flip those spawns.
Good start, man. Not a bad hard point. Breach with the lead now. Cammy's going to get the first few moments over by Bar. We leave Kitchen, we traverse the other side of the map, and Boston are already making their way forward. Awakening and Beans in the feed. It's a couple of clean kills. It all comes down to Cammy. The tactical retreat from the point. Vivid's in. Breach are there. That's their point.
Breach are in. They take their time, work their way around the back, push their way through middle single arch. They get a good chunk of time, but that's an easy 3 dead already for Rocker. They're going to be right on into the hard point. They find the break through the front end. They just had to to take care of Bees because that's the guy on the pinch. He finds two. Only 2 players here left from the rocker. And with 24 seconds left, it's about time to start hitting that rotation.
Fame can't get any more on that life. Wonderful work from him, though, just to try to keep Boston at bay. They've done a great job bouncing back here in bar. Of No Awakening. Takes care of Cammy, the perfumer. That's going to be business handled. Over to the restaurant we now go. Another hard point. There's Minnesota Rocker first in on the rotation. But again, Boston Breach, the pinch is on. Jay Vance might be able to get nothing done. Awakening reads it. Here we go to the point straight away. How many can Gaffer get? There's number 1, there's number 2. Awakening, though, does have a silver bullet for that monster. Hard point now open.
Hard point is open for Minnesota. They're trying to apply the pressure. Boston Breach have all 4 players in towards the diner. Crep and Vivid, the new SMG duo for Boston. Combined for 2, shut down that early pressure. This has been a great hold. As long as you're trading efficiently is exactly what you need to do. As Boston Breach, even without winning a bunch of these rotations, they are finding the breaks, and that's what's leading to this scoreline so far.
Yeah, you're able to get a couple of sort of 15, maybe 20 seconds each hard point at the very least. Damn, Crep with a 2-piece somehow pulls that one out the bag. Over now to the kitchen once again, trying to make their way towards the glass side. Bottom left-hand side of the minimap, that's where we go next as Breach have started to walk away with the lead.
60-point game, about to be 70. Minnesota Rocker have to get a great hold. They're fully set up for this P6 top plat. Bands finds 2. That's a huge 2-piece to start it off.
Once again, Jake, Rocker with the rotation, with the early time. Boston, though, going for that break once again. Let's dive in now. A quick listen in.
One more side bricks. One more side bricks.
I'm what you want. I can cut these guys. Yo, no, P4 bands going. Couches. He's in couches, bands. They're gonna One shot pain in the corner. He's in the corner. I'm
Starting Boston, they are spitting fire in the comms, man, and they're running up the score as well.
And that's good to hear, man. It's good to hear Vivid's voice back into one of these listeners because you can just hear the impact that he already has on this team. He's called out the little things, where the pressure's coming from, where the player's playing on hill. He's allowing all of his slayers to go out there and slay while he gets the dirty work done. And at the end of the first rotation on the hard points, Boston Breach have themselves a nice little lead. Over to the P1. It's been uncontested so far. Minnesota doing a great job of maintaining the spawns, at least for now. Boston Breach get all the kills. They're able to flip it. This game is getting out of hand.
Boston Breach are bloodying, battering, and brutalizing Rocker here on Hotel so far. The final 15 seconds of P1 will go their way, most likely. Okay, Cammy back in the swing. He finds a nice kill there alongside Fame. Able to get the last few moments here. The pinch spawn they're going to be fully aware of, but the problem is you've got to get through Awakening. He takes care of 1. Can't get them both, though. Bandstand, nice trade. Right on to the next point we go. Over to P2. Krem, he's going to be the man outside. He might be a real problem for Rocker in a moment.
Oh yeah, Krep's the guy that's just simply trying to play his life for his teammates to get back into the play. Now it's time to strike. There's only 1 player left in the play. And it's going to be Afro over towards the Shandy side, but the spawns now flip. Boston Breach in control of the hill for now, until Minnesota just fly right through the front. The trades go back in favor of Boston. There's 3, make it all 4 dead in the feed. Beans finds 3. They find the break.
That's 3 for Beans. He's looking to get a couple more. Here comes the hit, though, from that Shiny side once again. Awakening, guns up, ready to go. Nades are good. Fame, Afro, they dive right into it. The last man on the stairs is going to be Cammy in alive. Boston Breach, they cross the 200-point mark, and they absolutely slam out of P2.
Yeah, this is getting out of hand. Minnesota, usually a great team at hold percentage on this map, second out of all the rosters that we have in the CDL, but every single time they are setting up, Boston are finding the first initial couple of gunfights to find the break. Afro was a huge one over towards Bands in towards the new hill. So right now, Minnesota, they were able to slow down the game, take control of the map, fully set up for this kitchen hill for some much-needed time.
Much needed, brother. We've got 110 points to climb up now. Hard point firmly in the hands of Rocket for now. Of course, Vivid now as he approaches. Can't take care of Afro. The 2-piece there. A third. No! Gets it done with a butt of his gun. Awakening might be able to get it. But up next is going to be Bance. Boston Breach not close enough to the hard point. Oh, the wall bangs though. As Bance gingerly dances around danger. Here comes Awakening. Cammy to back him up. Crimp on the outside finds two. The pinch is now on. There's no way Bance can survive for much longer, surely. He's holding on by the tips of his fingers. He gets another. Jay, the hard point still rocker.
The hard point still rocker. A little bit of assistance coming in from Cammy's trophy to at least take down one. Does Minnesota do exactly what they need to do? A great hold over towards the kitchen side. Now Afro trying to be the playmaker. The only guy farthest pushed up has to find a couple kills in this position. It's now a 60-point game. Minnesota should be able to get on the point initially, but as this play all falls into the hands of Afro, what else can he get done?
Awakening gets in. Here comes in towards the bar. Cammy can't get any more. Crimp's in. That's going to be the break. Vance has got to go huge. Can't get it done. Beans is there. It's going to be 25 seconds now for the win. Can Fame make the run forward?
They need to find their break through the front. All of Boston Breach spawning towards the back. They're trying to set up the pinch through middle arch. Contest is going to be here. Afro trying to do it all, but Awakening combines for 3 in the feed. Only 14 seconds until Boston take map 1.
Boston holding on. Final 10 now. Afro taking care of from behind. Over to Cammy now. He gets in the point. He stops it for now, but it's not enough. Boston so close to the finish line. A final 9 seconds as Rocker now holding on for dear life. This hard point comes to an end in 10 seconds. Over to Afro now to the restaurant. Can he win the fight? He trades. Oh dear. Kremp though, the man in the point. Bance has got to go big. A couple of seconds, Jay. Here we go.
Yeah, you got to get in the hill. Bance is the only player here. There's 2 players from Boston Breach stacking the point. It's time to attack.
Flying forward. Afro now trying to make his way through the side. Trades are done. It's a 1v1 on the point. Vivid gets taken care of. The next man in, Awakening. Trades again. Fame finds another. That's it. Boston, by the absolute skin of their teeth, managed to take map number 1. And the crowd here at St. Paul, oh, it's the first time they've really seen tragedy strike, but what a start to this series.
What a start to this series indeed, my friend. I thought map number 1 was going to be a lot closer, but Minnesota made it a lot more respectable towards the end. It just came down to the first rotation of hard points. You had a majority of the preferred spawns going into some of these hills, but you were instantly broken by the pressure on the side of Boston Breach. As you see the stat lines for Boston, both VARs almost double positive. Vivid, 18 and 27 with only 2,300 damage, but it's been quite some time since Boston Breach have been able to hold their head high after a hard point victory. 1 and 8 when Vivid was out the lineup, completely turns the tides in this map as they walk away with map number 1.
What a crazy start. Breach again. These ARs really ringing out Awakening. What a run. Highlights now from the start of this brilliant series. 2 teams tied up so far in the points. The winner walks away with 10. And Krem, a nice look from him, man. I mean, everyone, the pressure here, Jay, in this arena. It's so overwhelmingly against Boston Breach, yet they still managed to come out on top there in that first map. We'll see. We talk about the hard point, the search and destroy in just a moment. With the hard point done, man, I mean, does that sort of change the way you feel about this series?
Yeah, it definitely does, because if Boston Breach are winning hard points, they are able to win search and destroys and control as well. It's just been the hard point that has been the struggle. So now that they find themselves up 1-0, confidence is definitely going to be on their side. Minnesota Rocker are not any slouches in the search and destroy, but just off the confidence that Boston were able to get off of that map number 1, you got to think it's all on their side going into this map number 2. Just let that one slip. A little bit of not the best performances out of a couple players over there on the rocker. You need to completely shake that one off, because how important this series is. It's a battle for the 7th seed. With Vegas just getting that victory over New York, they still are in the fight. So you got to be able to create some separation.
Vegas are nipping at the heels of these 2 teams. It is getting very dangerous on that bubble. We go to our second part now of the hotel side of this matchup. We're looking at those stats again. Awakening 34 and 17, disgusting work. That's a clean 2.0 from Demon Joe. Beans not too far behind them with 32 and 21. But now we go to the search, Jay. I mean, statistically, you brought this up to me. Boston Breach have the edge here. There's no doubt about it.
That's the thing that's scary, because on this Boston Breach roster, when it comes down to search and destroy, ever since the addition of Beans, they have been able to take their S&D to a whole different level. When you talk about Hotel more specifically, these guys are great at finding the first bloods, and then going up against Minnesota, who usually tend to struggle on this map, 10th overall throughout the entire league. when they get first blooded, they only have a 23% chance at winning the round. So you cannot drop early because Boston Breach, they're going to be able to capitalize on it every single time.
They're going to punish if they really will. Well, there we go. Map number 2's on its way. We stay on hotel. We're going to roll across the series. As I think you called this one out. You said it's going to be a long one, man. We could go 5. Pocket thinks Minnesota, Nameless and Ali, they were back in Boston. Let's see how it goes. The last few moments now for our teams to pour over the previous game stats, think about what they want to do in the next one. Coaches are on stage imparting the last bit of wisdom. Actually, no, they're not. They're gone. Oh, good stuff. Those guys got out there pretty quick. You should be ready to roll.
Yeah, we should be ready to go. And I think if you are Minnesota Rocker, it's starting really early into the search to destroy with some success, making those early mid-round adjustments. One thing that they love to do on the defensive side is basically only put one person over towards that B-bomb towards bedroom side, or no one towards that bedroom side. They like to stack through the middle of the map, watch the cross over towards site. So that might be a situation that can cause Boston Breach some problems, but with Vivid back in the lineup, this has to be a guy that Minnesota put a lot of focus on. Because the last time these teams matched up was all the way in stage 2. Back when Memphis was on Boston and Attach was on the Rocker. But the guy who took over in the S&D was Vivid. He had a 1.8. And you can imagine, if he's putting on that pressure with the SMG, getting those bomb downs, and he's still putting up 1.8s, that's a guy that can single-handedly shut down the game.
Here we go. Map number 2. I still can't believe the last time they matched up was stage 2. That was like 100 years ago. Unbelievable, baby. Let's get it. Into the search and destroy we go. Slow start for both teams. No one really willing to give up too much. Vivid, that top side of the mini-map, we see him. He might run into Afro a little bit later. Krem, he's going to spot Fame if he shuffles any further left.
Yeah, right now, both teams are trying to get a feel out. Basically, the default. How are they going to play this? You know, with the SMG duo from Rocker, loves to always be aggressive in towards the diner, but Vance at least gets some information. Player playing towards the middle of the map. Afro does as well. So 2 players are spotted. Where are the other 2 guys at? Bomb still definitely going over towards A.
My question now is, you know, Boston, you've got a little bit of information. Do you move? Do you go for it? The case now, especially that Fame and Vance have completely lit the bedroom up. We're still playing this real slow, Jay. No one giving anything up. There's less than 30 seconds to go. Rocker, you've got to move.
Vance at least sneaks his way into a great position through middle of the map. Vance and Cammy gonna try to take some Jacuzzi control. They walk right into the preem of Awakening. Only 15 seconds left on the clock. The bomb has to get planted. Vivid takes down Afro. All left up to Fame in the 1v4. He goes for the chow. He cannot plant it. This is looking like a Boston Breach. Nice early round to go up 1-0.
They had a tight grip around that entire round. Nobody could do a single thing there from Rocker, and by the time they moved, it was too late. Beans with a final kill here. Fame with a lovely snap, but not quite enough out of Rocker in that opening round, Jay. Good old Beans, man. Good company boy, enjoying that monster.
He's getting a little twisted. He's got the crowd against him. He's got the opposing team against him. Everyone is against him besides his teammates. But he has no worry. As Boston Breach with the patience, they're able to take round number 1. Now they go on the attacking side. With Vivid back in the lineup, this is a guy who definitely knows the strat calls, the play calls coming in on the side of Boston Breach. Gonna go for the 2-2 split, just like Minnesota did. Play for that early information.
Beans being the guy with the bomb is taking a lot of fights over here by the A-bomb side. 3 players who are bombers towards the top side of the map here for Boston. Jay, they're gonna run into Vance. And if everything goes their way, Vance will be a dead man. Here we go, though. Sneaky. Go!
Oh,
Vivid!
no.
Jiminy crickets now. He can't get the second. Cammy, though, right into the fight. Here comes the potential trade. But no, Cammy has managed to buy some time. Reinforcements now from Rocker. They're flying in.
Oh, it's a 3v3, but Rocker might have committed too hard over towards the speed point. It's now going to allow Boston Breach to get that free rotation over back towards A. It's going to be slow and steady as they go for the full wrap through the back of their spawn. You're going to allow Rocker to get back into this situation. Cammy trying to get it done through bottom lock.
I think he got spotted. He's in serious trouble now. I'm not sure if there's anything left to throw at him, but with less than 30 seconds to go, we're in a very similar situation. This 3v3 could get real ugly. Cammy with a quick crossover. He's still just trying to buy some time. Big win there from Awakening. Fame trades things out. 2v2. He's still got an opportunity to grab the bomb and get things going. Kremp, though, oh, he's in behind. This could be the round if he finds the kills here. It all comes down to Cammy.
Cammy in a 1v2, but he knows He knows that they know exactly where he is. Awakening does it all in those final moments of that round. Wins a huge one-on-one towards top bed. Cammy was just jumping around in towards bottom luggage the entire time. And with only 10 seconds left, no one commits towards the bomb plant. They go for the child, knowing his positioning. 2v1 is a lot better than the 1v1 as Awakening is able to close out the round. Boston Breach, 2-0.
2-0. Here we go. St. Paul's trying to will their team onwards here. Awakening's 5-0, though. One more kill gets them the cruise missile. We'll see if that has too much of an impact. Here from Jacuzzi J, he's got all the mid-map covered. Standard setup. Let's see if Rocker have got an answer this time round.
Time to just try to play for the information again. Cammy's going to drop that bomb towards D1 desk. Vance this time around is able to find the first blood onto Crep. That's the guy that loves to play towards top bedroom. He's getting the info, though. At least one player crosses towards Ben. So Minnesota in the man advantage. Vance makes another play. 4v2. Time to get that bomb down.
And he's rolling. Benjamin Bance. Will he be able to find any more of this one? Awakening's dead silence activates. He's moving swiftly across the map. Might be able to spout fame. The timing's a little bit awkward. Tags are in. Here comes Bance. Looking for his third on the round. That's it. Rocker. Stop the bleeding.
First blood of the map right there for Rocker. When they get the first blood, find a lot of success in S&D. That round all falls into the hands of Bance. He says, someone else take bomb. I'm going to make the play happen. Finds himself in towards the bedroom and takes 3 for his beautiful stay in towards the hotel. Minnesota able to get on the board. Now down 1-2.
The tough vacation, right? This is a hotel from hell, man. This place is easy. 2-1. Rocker now trying to get things going. Afro yet to really get on the board. We saw him incredibly destructive earlier on today in the respawns against the Ravens. And this time round, a little slow. Awakening's first blood, though, makes things a little bit easier. The trades at finish, and Jiminy, it's 2v2 already, bro.
It's already a 2v2, and Crep already finds himself behind enemy lines. He pops that dead silence to put himself over towards that B site.
Oh.
Now with bomb being down towards the middle of the map, this might cause problems for Boston.
Bance has got the dead, he popped. Oh, he saw Krem. Hold it. Will Krem check the floor? He doesn't. Bance gets his 5th.
In the 2v1. Afro got the info that the bomb is going to be down towards middle checkout desk. They're just playing the 2v1 setup. Crossfires are good. No one's over challenging. It's only 30 seconds left on the clock. Beans with no dead silence. Good luck, my friend.
Afro's there. That bomb just waiting to check in. Here comes Beans. He knows that bomb. They've got eyes on it. Bance has the long line of sight here. No hope in hell. Perfect setup from Rocker. They level the score, 2-2.
Just great plays early on, aggression through the middle of the map. Through the chaos, Rocker able to come out on top. Benjamin Bance again making plays on the round. I'm pretty sure that's 6 in a row. So he might have earned himself a cruise missile, and that could be crucial to the later half of this game. We're all tied up at 2. Boston Breach back on the defense.
It is lit in here. I can't lie. I'm trying to build some suspense and all that. It's wild in this room. You're out of control, Minnie. Here we go. Everybody, shh. Let's get into this next one. Bance has got a cruise. Pro's still on the donut.
Awakening finds the first blood. That's already 3-1 in favor of Boston. Now you have to slow this game down if you are Rocker. Bomb's going to be down over towards D1 Des. You have Vivid in a position to at least watch the cross towards site. Get some info onto Cammy, but you don't have to do anything if you are Boston. You have the man advantage. You have both sites covered. Let's just play trades.
Vivid being a sneaky man over by the A-bomb site. Bomb yet to be recovered by Rocker. Cammy's close enough. And Boston probably don't have the same luck as Optic. He couldn't get unbreakable like that. Afro tagged up, have to make his way out. Clock's ticking though, Jay. You run out of time.
Time is starting to tick down, and Vivid is able to take down Cammy as well. So the bomb being down towards Double Des. Awakening drops down through the middle of the map. He's able to shut down Bance. Now Afro left in the 1v3 with only 15 seconds left. It's looking like a Boston Breach defensive round once again. It's a sound.
Whoa!
Oh, not able to line it up with the snipe, but Beans does it with the pistol. Basically a flawless defensive round right there to Boston to take the lead again.
It's another great defensive round. Yeah, they're so good at that. Man, that was a weird looking shot. Beans getting involved. A little bit of extra love. I think we count that as a body shot. We count it. It might be a little early, but we'll find out. It's the crowd. Crowd loves their Beans.
Shooting bodies is not what you want to do in this situation. It never turns out to be the good thing for the guy that shot it. Currently, Boston Breach in the lead. All out pressure from Minnesota this time around through the middle of the map. This is their defensive setup. This is their go-to. Fame watches the cross. He finds the first, Cammy with the second. Already a 4v2 in favor of Rocker.
Let's see how Boston play this, though. Rocker have not been successful when down a man. And for now, Beans and Awakening. Dominance in the first map. Here comes Vance. Smooth shoulder throw. Fame's got that mid-map coverage. A lot of that suppressing fire. Going to keep Awakening out the fight for now. Beans trying to make sure that A-bomb site is safe to get that bomb in. Try to get the plant. Will they be able to do it? Here comes Cammy. Big win from Beans. Tags up. Taken care of on the cross. All down to Awakening.
Awakening 1v3. Bomb down over towards Q. Fame still throwing a couple shoulders through the middle of the map. He gets the info. It's time to strike. As Bance is going to go for the first. He does lose the gunfight, though. 30 seconds left, but the trade is going to be there. Afro there. Minnesota tied up at 3.
Woo. They tie it up. One round at a time. No, this is a tense hotel search and destroy. Statistical advantage still going towards Boston, but Rocker, the home crowd buff, it is no joke. The room vibrates after every round win. Here we go. Swap sides once again, Jay.
Such a back and forth search and destroy. Rocker with the perfect defensive setup to watch across the middle of the map. Leads to success. Now back to the attack side they go. Keep in mind, Band still has that cruise missile to work with. They're going for the 2-2 split again. Playing for that information. Slow and steady wins the race.
Beans with the boomstick, SPX in hand. Now eyes on towards what we call the Godhead. Fame. Nowhere near it. He's going to be a little further back. As Rocker, again, on these attacking rounds, Jay, they're not too willing to take any risks. At some point, something's got to give. We've seen him here twice now.
Yeah, I just want to see them change their tone. Like the aggressive round that they had over towards A with Band Takes Bedroom. That was their only attacking round where they found some success. But they're trying to play for the information. The information leads to the first blood. Beans get taken down. Now you can get that bomb down towards A.
Beans gets baked. Bance with Deddy. Here's the door. Kremp has no idea he's nearby, so that makes things very awkward. Awakening's been spotted, and here comes Bance springing into action. Catches a sprinting Awakening. He knows that next player is below him as well, and Kremp is still roaming around. A-bomb planted now. Advantage Rocker.
Rocker in the 4v2. Prep in a great position, but there's only 4 HP left. He gets taken down by Fame. Now it's Vivid, the new guy, back on the lineup. In the 1v4 situation, finds the first blood onto Afro.
The new old guy on the roster in a 1v4. What's he got? 20 seconds to go. As Rocker have got full map coverage. Bance, he's jiggling on the stairs. I think Vivid might just play this one out. I'm just judging by the look on his player cam. He's probably chilling. Going to let that bomb detonate. He's going to keep the 1 kill spree he has for now. And it will give Minnesota Rocker a 1-round lead. Oh! No, he won't.
Benjamin Vance wins the one-on-one. Those final moments as Rocker are able to take the lead in the search and destroy on the back of the first blood. Now up 4-3. They found success last time on defense with the 4 stack through mid. The Boston Breach continue to go for the 2-2 split and play for the info. Where they step up in the pace, take control of the bedroom, and plant that bomb towards A.
Still got Streaks to play with there for Bance. He's the player on the far right-hand side of the player lineup there for Rocker. 4 spree for Fame as well. Can be looking at Streaks again. Here we go, though. Boston Breach, bomb in hand. Looks like a faster hit towards A this time round. We've not seen too many of these. Fame could catch a player out. Crack that door. See what you find on the other side. This crowd is insane. I don't know if you can hear this, Jay. This crowd is nuts.
I cannot hear the crowd, but I can only imagine, my friend, as Vivid is able to find the first blood onto Afro. The cruise missile does get invested by Vance, and nothing is able to connect. Vance is just leaning. I don't know what the hell that was.
Oh, God, I was playing Rainbow Six. What the hell was
some of those bullets, man. 4v3 left up to Boston.
All right, well, man down. You lose Afro as Krem. He's creeping, baby. Look at him on the stairs there. Cammy's got that line of sight. If Krem seriously takes one more step, he's going to get spotted out. Cammy makes the move. Krem guns him. Now a pair of Boston players on the stairwell can find something. No, Krem somehow gets a second. Bounce on the other side of the map, now 1v4. He's got himself an AR to work with. Can he do any more than that one kill he found earlier?
With only 25 seconds left, Boston Breach doing a great job just staying alive. Beans being a nuisance, just throwing shoulders towards the bedroom. Krem now has him one shot, only 39 HP. As Boston Breach walk away with the attacking round. Krem shuts it down in towards the bedroom. Even Vance invested in that cruise missile. It's not going to help Minnesota in this situation. So a big round out of Boston Breach to get rid of that cruise, clutch up on the attacking ground. Now they're on the preferred side. All tied up at 4, back on defense.
Here we go again. I mean, Rocker, we've seen them now find success in attacking rounds. They've been able to break the Boston setup. Let's see if they can do it again. A different look this time round. Bance once again with the bomb. Boston at this point in time, they know. You kill Bance, that bomb's down.
This time it's looking like Rocker just going to switch up their pace. Dead Silence is going to get popped by Cammy. He's going to try to lead the charge, but Vivid in a position. Unfortunately, cannot get the kill. So it's time to go. Awakening there for the trade. It's an all-out Snake Fest.
Snake his ass! Cammy's in, finds a kill. The Snakes have come to a close. Fame finds one in mid-map. Beans now with the snipe. Can he find anything? What an explosive round. He's going in. Beans with the snipe. I don't believe that shot. The clock's ticking, Jay. And he is checking every possible angle. This is, honestly, the weapon you want in a situation, but he guesses wrong. Rocker with the round.
Rocker get another first blood. Good way to start off the trade battle when you are the team in the preferred situation. They get the first blood, they trade efficient. Fame, the island player, catches a player lacking through the middle of the map. You get that bomb down. Beans with the sniper pistol hit a great first shot, but so many angles we have to try to check. Going in towards that kitchen bomb site. This Rocker now put themselves at game point, trying to tie the series up.
One more round is all your hometown heroes need, St. Paul. And they tie up the series. Cammy is moving. Forward he flies. Awakening though. Wait a minute. It gets 2. Vivid catches another one as well. And this has got round 11 written all over it. Cammy, if you can find this 1v4 somehow, they'll build a statue out of something smack bang in the middle of Minneapolis, mate. That would be impossible.
Well, I don't know. Impossible is still possible. We saw a Beezy clutch a 1v4. So now it's time for Cammy, but fortunately he runs right into the pregame of Krem. Boston Breach with all-out aggression through the middle of the map. Awakening starts off with the first 2. No trades are abound as Boston Breach clean on this attacking round. Are able to now force round 11.
Round 11. Round 11. And some choice words.
They're getting rowdy over there.
Oh, they're getting rowdy. They're getting rowdy, Jay. There's no doubt about it. If you lip read some of the fans in the front row, you know what they're saying. The more creative of you at home, it's let's not go Boston. 12-7 though for Awakening. Unbelievable. Round 11. Here we go.
Look at the pressure from Boston. 4 stacking over towards B. Vivid already puts himself in a great position towards L. Best, and this might work out perfectly if you are Rocker. You're getting a lot of information and a lot of tack usage going over towards this A site. Afro was already leaning his way over towards B, so this might be a perfect rotation from Minnesota.
Krem's here, guns up at the ready. Minnesota Rocker have made it into the kitchen first and foremost. Now it's on them to set up. Here comes Beans with a nade. Ooh, doesn't catch anybody out. Bomb planted at B, here we go. 4v4 retake. In 40 seconds, this round ends one way or the other.
Trying to find an angle, trying to find a way in. Don't really have a lot of tack. Usually just hit a couple wall bangs, trying to get some kind of information. Time is starting to tick, but here comes the push.
Here comes the hit. Afro doesn't take too much damage. Krem's in. Awakening with the coverage. Oh, damage, but no kills. Krem finds one. Bats with the trades. Kemi finds his. Krem with two. And the bomb site has now been abandoned. 15 seconds. Minnesota Rocky, you're not out of this yet. You still have to make sure that no one is on the defuse. Vayne flies forward. Gets sniped. Kemi finds one. It's a 1v1. It's done. It's over. Beans can't defuse. And Minnesota Rockets tie the series up.
What a round it was. Rocker needed that round 11 to get into the series, and they make the perfect play call at these final moments. It was a 4-stack from Boston over towards that B-bomb. Rocker play it nice and slow. They count the tacks getting thrown on that side of the map. You had Afro beating the island players slowly pushing up through the diner. Once they take control of kitchen, you get the bomb down, time is starting to tick, and you just trade efficiently to close out this search and destroy to tie the series up at 1. Miles, look at the difference in the first bloods. It's 7-5. Minnesota had a couple rounds where they had to clutch up, and they do just that. It's now at an even score line, 1-1, going into the control.
Crazy, man, because coming into this, Boston, they had the statistical advantage, man. They were the guys winning those 2vx rounds. Everything changed there. Woo, what a series this is. Well, we got ourselves control coming up next, Jay. How are we leaning for this one? What's the feeling? What's the vibe? You know what? I'm sorry. I got so excited. We got to go to a break. On the other side of the break, we're playing control.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL, and the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the SCUF, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Here we go. The series tied up 1-1. Minnesota Rocket pull out the goods in round 11. Now, though, we go to LSCLO control, and all bets are up. This shit's crazy, Jay. Let's go, brother. Let's go.
I wish I had that energy. If I was in that venue right now, Ross, I'll be ready to stick my head through the monitor. But this series has been intense, my friend. We have an LSCLO control coming up next. Two of the best LSCLO control teams that we have in the game. We have the #1 defensive team going up against the #1 attacking team. But for that defensive squad, it's a little bit padded. You see it right there for Minnesota. 79% on defense, but ever since they make the roster change to add Fang to the lineup, they're actually 2-3 on the defensive side. A lot of their previous success was with attach. So this is going to be a square up, man. Whoever wins this map wins the series, in my opinion.
Oh, my word. And whoever wins the series, take that 7th place in our CDL standings. Incredibly important in the road towards champs. More on that later. I'm sure the desk are frothing, thinking about all the breakdowns they get to do after this one. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Into control we go. 2 zones, 30 lives each. Let's get it.
Early pressure from Minnesota Rocker. Over towards this B point. They know that Boston Breach have no trophy systems to work with, so the one guy that's playing on this side of the map has to play it super slow. They're just trying to find an opening, trying to get on this point, but so far, Boston Breach aren't giving up anything for free. Trades are bound back and forth, and it looked like Boston Breach able to shut down that early pressure early on.
Cammy finds a smooth kill. Forward he goes. A little confused by the positioning of Beans there, so not really able to make much progress towards the B zone. Over towards A, though. Vance has managed to get in. A little bit of time now going his way. An aggressive forward position he finds himself in. Vivid's going to make him pay for it. Afro right back at it. Slow progress, Jay, but hey, it's on his work. Oh.
Yeah, it's on its way. Minnesota, they have the right positionings that they want on the map. You maintain radio control. You're able to get on this point for free, but Awakening guns Fame, Crep guns Cammy. They shut down that early pressure, and so far, Rocker have nothing to show for it. Not a single segment complete, as Boston Breach have been able to shut down every single push.
35 seconds remaining on the round. Vance has got in, gets a 2-piece. That's going to be the capture. The first segment at A should be on its way out. Lovely work. We'll put that in the bank and see if that helps out towards the final round. We have to go all the way. The team with the most segments captured gets it. 2 players, 3 now on the A zone. Here's the contest. Should be able to take care of business here. Vance finds his 3rd kill on the point. Can he get number 4 as well? No, Crimp with the incredible gun skill again. Saves the day.
Now with only 30 seconds left, you have to commit towards this A point. You have to try to extend this time if you are Rocker. As trades go back and forth, but right now Rocker look like they're in a great position with the map control, with the slaying, that they're going to be able to extend this time by a minute. So now Rocker currently down by 4 lives. This is where you can easily hit that transition. You have to just combine it with a couple kills. Unfortunately, it gets shut down by the pressure right there from Kremp.
Kremp has been the boogeyman. Oh, Kremp again!
Oh,
what in the Kremp? Him an Awakening in the feed as he finds his 3rd kill in a row, as Kremp is terrorizing Rocker here at LSCLO.
And that's just what he does. The aggressor on the side of Boston Breach, just to put the pressure on toward the preferred size of the spawns.
Oh, no.
Now Awakening's turn, though. He combined for 2. But Minnesota at least combined for a couple of their own. Only 15-6 in lives remaining. It's going to be one more final push from Rocker. It has to be perfect.
Kremp's got eyes on that side door by the alleyway. In a moment, he's going to get the go button, fly forward, hit those players, capturing that B zone in the back. For now, it's just about 30 seconds to go. Jay, 5 lives left for Rocker. This is not going to be easy, but it is not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it all starts by taking down Krep from this position. He's just trying to be a nuisance, but Bance is able to sniff him on out. Minnesota have the ability to sprint right up through field. Cammy finds a second as well. They're able to get on the point. They're able to stop the clock. The trade comes in onto Bees. Awakening's the only player on the flank. He gets shut down. All you have to do is stack now if you are Rocker.
2-man stack. Rocker are in. Here comes the 3rd. Rocker are in. Boston now on the counter-attack, trying to make their way forward. Any kills to be made. The trophies are working overtime. The contest. Kremp's got to fly. Kremp's got to go. Get the kill, and it's done. Oh, my God. Kremp gets 2 with a knife. Oh, and he's won his team the round. just do?
Crep is 50 HP. He's 50 HP, pulls out the knife, goes for the stabby stab onto Fame. And I'm pretty sure he's able to find this final kill as well onto Cammy. If not, his teammates got his back. But what a round number one out of Kremp. The SMG just applying the pressure for Boston Breach. He's able to shut down that last push from Rocker. I thought that they had an opportunity to get it done. But Kremp clutches up. Boston Breach take round one.
Unbelievable, unbelievable play on both sides of the board there, though. Boston Breach now on attack. They've got themselves over towards B. They've got a little bit of love over there.
Oh, no!
Kremp thinks he's simp, man. Can't get kills out of that. What are you talking about, bro? Time, though, ticking away. All in favor of Rocket right now. Beans and Co. still getting the job done over by B. Good work. That's a two-man stack on a B. You really do want to commit to this, though, if you're Rocker. A is not fun.
Yeah, and this is the number one attacking team, and they short early on. They find all the kills. It's already 2 segments done at B. The 2-stack is in. Awakening's just going to back off, allow Kremp to be the sole man to close out this B point. But this is not the start that you wanted if you are Rocker. Giving up B is never easy to hold down A for 2 minutes, but Boston are able to extend that time. And they just have to find one opening, one set of kills, and the round is theirs.
2 minutes to go. This is a long time, especially on LC low. Life count relatively even. Boston with a very slight advantage on Awakening. He's going on a hike. He's going not to find himself. He's going to find the members of Minnesota Rocker coming off spawn. What? 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 Oh my God! Afro finally ends that run. What a ridiculous string of kills, man. We're on A. We're stacked up. Breach, this is your round to lose.
Yeah, this might be the round right here with Awakening finding those 2 kills. Because now all map control on the left side of the map is in favor of Boston Breach. All you have to do is win these sets of gunfights. Fame and Afro, though, they combine for 2. Afro actually finds 2. Bance on the flank for the 4th. As they only allow the first segment to get complete. And now they fight back for that map control. Boston Breach forced to hit the reset.
Flying forward, that one segment at 8 gone, 125 on the clock. Oh, so much happened in that first minute. We're coming up on towards the final minute here of the round. Afro on a 5. Can they get any more out of this against Streaks? Very handy indeed. Fame doing a great job of literally clearing the field. Have to worry about Beans, though. He's still by that top tower. He's causing problems. Takes care of Fame as well. Afro, though, still on the prowl, on the hunt for kill number 6 in a row.
Yeah, Afro's just trying to play his life. That silence just runs out. Modifying the timing, he does. Takes down Awakening, earns himself that cruise missile. Gonna go for the chow onto Bees. You don't really like that when you're one shot, but the young man is roaring with confidence, and that's why you don't like it, because if your teammates aren't finding kills, this might be the opportunity for Boston Breach. As Bance is the sole man here for Rocker. 40 seconds left. Minnesota just got a hold.
He's the sole man, and he's holding on, baby. Still keeping the defense going. Great nades, though, from Beats. Kremp now getting involved. Vivid now making the capture happen. The clock is stopped at 33 seconds. Cammy, if you can creep around the corner and find it, you get that open again, and that's it. Time still moving. Here comes the Streaks. Afro going for it. He's trying to end the round right here and now.
Okay, Afro knows this is the time to invest it. We cannot lose this defensive round with only 20 seconds left. Just have to find these sets of kills. Bance and Afro already combined for 2. That means 2 players are coming off spawn. Time for Afro to attack. Reads that beautifully. Now with only 11 seconds, Boston able to stop the clock. It's Vivid on the point. Vivid and Kremp combined for 2. Now it's all off the Bance.
Bance at long range gets 1. No lives remaining either side. 10 seconds though on this one. You've got to get Vivid off the point. These final lives are so important. The round is far from over. Another nail biter in the making right now. Fame creeping forward, catches out Beans. Over to Vivid now. Can Fame get both? Surely not. The trades are done. It's a 1v1 on the point. Oh! Boston do it again. Lightning strikes twice.
All they need is one opportunity. 1-2 piece to go down in their favor. And it's none other than Kremp and Vivid. The young man and the old man. Get it done as the new SMG duo. Find those clutch couple of kills in those final moments. And secure the attacking round for Boston Breach. Now puts them up 2-0. Going back on the defensive side, where they are basically untouchable. Rocker needs something.
Man, this is a great control. 2-0 is doing it no justice. This is amazing. Here we go. Attacking round for Rocker. Kremp on the A-bomb site, taken clean care of. Afro and Cammy on the kills, they roll forward. Here they go, trying to get themselves onto A. Bance and Afro now getting the cap done.
Should be able to complete at least the first segment over towards B. Over towards A. As Boston Breach are all swanning over towards the cliff side. First segment in. Awakening trying to time this flank. He also has a cruise missile to work with, so his teammates can combine for a couple kills. Might be an opportunity to try to invest it to at least take down this player towards top radio tower. But Cammy with the snakes is able to find 2, able to find 3. They shut down that early presser. Second segment about to be in. Rocker looking to extend his time.
They'll come out swinging here in round 3, and they need it. Breach, if they win this defensive round, they win the map. Minnesota Rocker take care of point A. Over to B we now go. Over 2 minutes to do it.
It's all about staying alive on the right side of the map. Trying to get a player pushed out over towards white. As you know, Minnesota, they're trying to apply the pressure through the middle of the map. Vivid and Kremp combined for another 2 in the feed. Cammy Paul, this player pushed up, finds himself in a 5-3. Huge one-on-one versus Awakening. But he's the only player pushed up for his team. He has to wait for them to try to get into play, try to get past the SMGs on the side of Boston Breach. That's not an easy task to get done. They're still looking for where Kremp is.
Kremp's just been such a difficult player to deal with. Still going in the kill feed. Cammy, though, has managed to get right behind enemy lines. Stuck between beans! Oh my god, that was for the streaks. No, Awakening wins this as well. That would have been unbelievable. Afro's in trouble now, full stun. Here comes Vivid. Dameson guns him to bed. 1 minute 10 to go. Rocker with a life lead.
Kremp still on the flank, though. You have to take care of Kremp if you want to try to apply the pressure through the front. That's already job done. Now they can potentially hit the stack. All of Boston Breach spawning across the map. It's time for Awakening to invest that cruise missile, but it's going up so fast. Everyone expand your attacks. Try to not allow those trophies to take it down, but Bees takes down 1. Second segment about to be in, but Boston Breach is still here trying to contest it.
Trying, Cammy finds a couple of kills. Bees got to fly in. Has he got the knife at the ready? Because that seems to be it. There's the kill. That should be the round. Wait, oh, it's done. I thought Awakening might have been able to hit the roof, but that's it. Rocker, get on the board. Jesus, it's so loud in here.
I can only imagine, my friend, as Rocker clutch up on that push. Even with Awakening calling in the streak, it did not matter. Trophy systems were down. Guns were up. Cammy is shooting hot fire out of his tack so far on the map. As Rocker are able to go down 2-1, finally get 1 on the board. So now can they potentially end this round on some streaks, pick up a couple cruise missiles to assist them if they get to round 5.
Scary thing again, though, for Rockers and Boston have shown us time and time again. Both attacking defense rounds are very good.
Let's go.
Onto A. Kremp, 2019 does not reflect the incredible map he has had so far. Kills now for Rocker as they make their way forward. Awakening on the deep flank, might be able to catch the player out. Afro taken care of now. Fame manages to get involved. Will Kremp take him? He does. That's going to be the point still being captured. 1 more member of Rocker to go, and that's Beans read, delivered, dealt with them. That's 2 players on A now for the cap.
Oh, but Vance actually gets a nice little spawn, so he could probably be a guy to still contest this over towards this 8 point. But it's looking like Boston Breach are going to be able to extend this time. Currently up by 4 lives. They have field control as well. All of Rocker putting a lot of pressure over towards the radio tower. You're basically allowing Boston Breach to sprint on forward for free. But Afro cuts down 2. Cammy with the 3rd. Rocker maintain map control.
Keeping that B side of the map safe. Bats for the big win. It's Awakening there. Oh! Jeez! That gets a second. 3 spree right now for Vance. Steady pop, looking to make moves. You can see how far forward that front line is for Rocker. They are not letting Breach get any closer towards that B zone.
Right now, even with Boston Breach having white control, just can't drop. If you are Baines, because you're in a crucial position. Wins the one-on-one versus Kremp, but now that's 3 down. Boston Breach can apply the pressure through the front end. You have the SMGs putting pressure through the middle of the map. As Beans is able to get on the box, stop that clock. Afro here trying to contest them.
Trophy system's going to help keep him well safe. Here comes Kremp. Nice moves out of Afro. What a play. He and Fame. Great defensive work. Vivid on the flank, though. He's making moves. He could be the dagger right now. Rocker, they've got no idea he's behind them. And here comes Vivid. The two-piece, that's massive. That's going to split the spawns now. Bottom left-hand side of the map, that's where Rocker will be. This is a dangerous spot to be in. First segment long gone. Three-man stack. Jay, this could be the map.
This could be the map. There's only 2 players left on the point. Boston Breach is slowly but surely going up. This might be it.
But Vance can't get it done. That's it. Breach are in. It takes one single play every time they clean them up. It's a 3-1 in control. They take the lead in the series.
And even in that final situation, Fame and Afro, they combined it for 2. So then it's a 2v4 situation. You just can't die to the same guy 2 times. Awakening was able to find 2. Once he finds 2, his team is able to sprint up through field side. That's when you allow Vivid to hit that flake and time it perfectly. Because once he finds himself towards back half wall, he has attack 56 in hand. The players from Minnesota have yet to come off spawn. And by the time they do, Vivid already found the 2 kills that he needed to do to allow his teammates to stack the point and close out this control. This used to be one that Minnesota Rocker were undefeated on. They were sitting at 10-0, but the last 2 times that they have played it, they have fallen short twice. Now puts them down 2-1 in the series. You gotta try to fight back. This is a battle for that 7 seed. Super important.
So important. Just high stakes in this series. The highlights, again, a lot cramped in there. He really played well on that LSELO control. Beans as well. Statistically the strongest player on Boston Breach there in the control game mode. Awakening with the absurd plays towards the back. Streaks again gained. Brilliant streaks from both teams though, but not quite enough. This is the second round victory. The Boston managed to somehow steal Fame, just unable to win this 2v1 situation. Unreal. And we saw a good bit of sign of life out of Rocker J, but just not enough, man. Boston, the COD gods smiled upon them today.
It just came down to a couple close moments, man. In a 2v1 situation, it was a 4v4 initially. If you're Boston Breach, all you have to do is trade, and that's what Kremp and Vivid were able to do on towards the point. And when you allow Boston Breach to start up 2-0, one of the best teams that we have on LSELO, they just need one opportunity. One opportunity to set up a pinch, to set up the right play, and that's all it takes. As you see the ARs go off on the side of Boston Breach again. They did it in map number 1. They do it again here in map number 3. So far, Boston Breach, they're taking over in the respawns. But if you are Minnesota Rocker, this map number 4 is going to be that Hydro, where you played it early on versus London. I think what you need to do if you are Rocker is just win those rotations, because Boston Breach, they tend to struggle on finding breaks. But if you allow them to set up properly, they are 3rd overall throughout the entire league when they are set up for some of these money hills. So win your rotations if you are Rocker and set up early.
You heard the man chat. You heard the man saying, Paul, Hydro hardpoint coming up in just a moment. LSELO, S&D, if we have to go the distance. And I think we probably will. See how this one goes, though. Hotel really strong there from Boston. The Hydro hardpoint, we've already seen Rocket play it today against London, and it was gravy, baby. Let's find out how this one goes. Hydro hardpoint. And of course, that final search and destroy map if we have to go there. But for now, Jay, this series has been a banger indeed. But they're going back to the points. The winner of this one gets 7th place. They've put themselves that bit closer to securing a spot in champs. Not many teams are now secured. New York still unable to really lock it in. They will be joining the 4 that are already secured now. Scary stuff. These fans have brought the noise, brought the energy. Can their team bring them 2 more maps?
Yeah, the energy out of the fans has been absurd so far throughout the home series. And Minnesota definitely need them now. Have to try to win 2 maps in a row to secure that 7th seed. It all starts with this Hydro hardpoint, man. We saw a bad performance out of Cammy in map number 1. Bad performance out of Fame in that map number 3. So far, the ARs are simply getting outplayed on the side of Rocker. On a map like Hydra, where ARs are going to be set up for success when you're holding down these power positions towards top dome, towards top bridge, every single time an AR finds himself in a great position on this map, he will be able to get kills. So it's all about the SMG setting them up. As you see the stats for both squads, last in hope percentage for a Rocker. But at least they made the adjustments early on versus London, and were able to turn that around a little bit. But you got to put it all together. Got to put it all together to try to force this game 5 here.
Force that game 5. That is the play. Rocker need it sorely. Hometown buff is paid off so far. Will it pay off again? Here we go. on board with Vance. We'll see if he makes that water route, trying to get towards that right-hand side of the map. That's the objective for now. Kremp's going to take a quick dip towards mid-map. So far, all good. Afro might be the man to actually go for that swim. His boys are on it. So far, nice start out of Rocker Jake.
This is the perfect start out of Rocker. They find all 4 kills in the feed. At least 2 players or 1 player from Boston Breach is going to spawn all the way across the map while they're soaking all this P1 time up. Perfect answer from Rocker. They get 22 uncontested seconds, but Boston Breach, they combine for 3 in the feed, so the final 20 should potentially be theirs. Now it's a battle off the rotation. Vance, the only player here to try to make the play happen.
He's playing so patiently, he has to. A death here doesn't really help out. He got checked there. No, he didn't get spotted out. So Vance is there it is. Good job from Krem. He really did do his due diligence there and make sure that every single nook and cranny was abandoned. Great work out of Boston so far. P2's up. Lead change on its way, but here come Rocker through the front lines. Cammy finding that first opening kill, mashing their way through Dome. Krem's gonna have to double back, and it is a 3-man hit Jay through this one side of the map. Here they go. Vance takes a dip. Cammy, Fame, forward they fly into the guns of Breach.
Yeah, this is not an easy break to find. On a P2 of Money Hill where they know where the pressure's coming in from, but Afro, he starts it off. Great pitch onto Awakening. Bans strikes through the water, but Bans cannot find the trade onto Beans. At least sets up Afro, though, to find 2. So the final 25 seconds could potentially go in favor of Rocker, but just pay attention to your mini-map. But Boston Breach still getting those back spawns. They're still going to apply pressure here. Final 15 is going to be theirs. And you see Krep in his positioning right now, already off the rotation. Minnesota getting a couple bad spawns, and this is where the game can start to get out of hand.
Yeah, this is a bad look. Vivid gets 1. Doesn't help too much. Awakening's going to get a couple of love taps on the way out as well, and now mid-map presence. That's going to be a lot of green. That's Boston Breach in the feed as well. 3 down for Rocker. Over towards this hard point we now fly. Beans will be the man in, grabbing the time. Fame hot on his heels though. Yeah, it does get the kill. So an open hard point for a moment. Krem back in it. We're trying to keep this as balanced as we possibly can, Jay. Boston Breach, they've got a lot of map control, but no time.
Yeah, Boston Breach, they're just trying to find where these guys are attacking from, but they do so much searching, no one just simply sits on the hill, and that leads to Rocker finding all 4 kills in the feed. And now flipping, Boston Breach to the opposing side of the map. Cammy's here to cut them down with the TAC 56. Rocker with this final 20 can potentially take the lead, but they're thinking big picture. We have to win a couple gunfights off the rotation, but you can't get past Beans. So Rocker are going to be able to take the lead for now, but Boston Breach should be able to take it right back with that perfect rotation out of Beans.
This is such a weird gunfight. He wins it though. Over to Beans. In that new hard point. Lead change again on its way. What a battle between our 2 teams here in this map number 4. Owner Bans trying to break the back line of Boston Breach as he now makes his way forward. Fame right behind him. Here comes Beans. Good tags into the feed. No help there. Kremka gets 2. Clearing up the trophies. Krem can't get any more out of it though. Fame's on a 3, Jay. But man, this is a very tight hard point.
Yeah, it's so back and forth. Both of these squads trying to get the important kills for the spawns. Fame with the snap onto Bees, but Boston still spawning towards back P2. They should be able to flood right back on into this hill. And with only 20 seconds left, remaining at P4, it's time to hit that rotation if you are Rocker. They're applying pressure, though, on the map so they can build layers for Boston Breach to try to get past. Perfect read right there out of Vivid to start it off with Afro onto the nade, but Boston Breach, nice little 30-point lead. Have time to set up these pitches, go for these routes.
Yeah, you kind of give it the last 30 seconds there on that hard point. No problem. You get yourself set for the new one. Now soak as much time as you can. Krem's got the open water lane covered. Vivid on the flank as well. Somehow Awakening wins that fight. The back line all safe, though. That's Afro's job, and he does it great. 45 seconds are on the point. Rocker are in.
Rocker get right back in. I love the play right there. The Bans to just be the sole man in towards the point. Doesn't hop on. He just plays in towards the window, plays for a kill. And that eventually leads to 2, make it 3 dead in the feed. As Rocker able to hold on strong. The Boston Breach, they're getting those close back spawns. And this can play perfectly if you are Rocker. You can chain this hill over towards the P1. Your teammates got dome side. Fight this one as long as you can. You have set yourself up properly for the second half of this game.
Long game being played by Rocker now. Let this time roll. Breach are going to take the next 10. We'll see what happens in a moment. Back over the hard point number 1 we go. We're in our second set of hard points here on Hydro. Krem, oh, I love this route. He might cause some serious damage here. Fame reads it, guns him. The hard point remains Rockers.
So far, Rocker mimicking the gameplay that they had versus London. Started off on the bad side, on the P1 first rotation. This time on the P1, they got the better spawns as they find 3 in the feed. Vivid trying to be the player to swim around, trying to take down this guy off of the time, as Famous just being the super soaker. No one is contesting it for now. Minnesota take the lead right on back. And with only 30 seconds left, you have to back up. You have to go for those next spawns over towards P2 because Kremp is already hitting the route through the water.
I don't think anyone from Rocker's got an idea Kremp's doing this. Cammy's looking in all the wrong places. Oh no, Kremp's in. That is a huge set of kills. Spawns now are not going to look good for Rocker. They're parallel on the far left side of the map. A foot race now over towards the new hard point we fly. Rocker with a bit of a lead, but not for long. Let's hear how the battle for new goes with a listen in. Minnesota Rocker.
Yes. Go deep. I'm pushing up yellow. Mate. Let's go time.
Don't see him out blue, please. Don't see him out blue.
Yeah, he's blue. Nice, good shit. I have you one. Nice.
Awaken in the back. One in time in the back.
Okay.
Bully don't.
Make sure you block.
I'm close here.
Yeah, shit, bully don't.
I see the guy in the back.
He's just angling front. Where? He's hit twice. Hit time.
Challenge. Back door. There's two. Wakeland's one shot. Wakeland was one shot. Nice.
Dome, straight away.
Try to stay down.
You're gonna be 2 done when you man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get your cross.
Cross, I think.
I have it.
I'll swap back on you.
Got one.
Yeah, nice.
One shot, dead.
Nice. Shadow for you.
I'm getting out.
I'm needed. I'm dead. I've got needed. Just get time. Yeah, you can be in front of you.
I'm going P5.
Yeah, Dome. Low dome and time.
We spot P5.
Yeah, only one P3, I think. I've got a streak.
Yeah, I'll swap right. I'm playing right.
He's in new, bro. Ben, he's low premium. Cammy's premium. Slave forward.
Top blue awakening.
We need to rotate.
Yeah, entered it.
That was him. Awakening.
Come back.
I'll block.
Ready.
I'm blocking.
Yeah,
I'm pushed up front. Where's P5? He's just sitting P5.
Yeah,
Hot comms, Jay. We're hearing a lot of deads. Bance is absolutely fried.
Yeah, Bance is taking over in this game. As soon as we stepped into the listening, he was doing it with the tack. He was doing it with the Fazdev. He went on a 9 spree, earned himself the cruise missile. And that's why you currently see Minnesota with the lead that they have. Boston Breach getting those back spawns, but with only 30 seconds left, your main job if you are Rocker is just simply keeping them off the point. As trades are bound, almost a turn on happens, but with only 20 seconds left, it's a battle off the rotations. And look at the route that Beans hits. Him and Crep are gonna have a 2v1 situation.
Or can Cammy make it a 1v1? Nah, all dead for Rocker. Great looks now from Boston Breach. Minnesota Rocker have got a very long and difficult journey across the map now to do. Bance helps keep the boys afloat with that kill, so now the job, run across that map, get towards that new hard point. The faster, the better. Streaks up the Bance, who could use those now. As Krem with that forward position, he's going to catch out one. Oh, nearly gets a second. Great work. Rocker now flying forward. Breach operation now, hold the line.
Yeah, this is the time to invest that cruise missile. Get the information for your teammates, spam the attacks, get this player off the point. He's able to at least take down Beans. Awakening, though. Awakening finds that huge kill. Once he finds that kill, he allows his teammates to now continuously spawn towards the back. Boston Breach are moments away from potentially taking the lead right on back. But Rocker, they're not giving this one up for free. It's trades back and forth. Cammy and Fame combined for 2, but still Boston Breach with those close back spawns should be able to find the break early on. With only 15 seconds left, Boston will take the lead, but it's Minnesota off the rotation, fully set up.
The boys of Rocker unable to break the spawns, but no problem. They held them out of it for long enough. A slight lead now from Boston Breach. Rocker over towards the new hard point. They fly. The final few moments close out as Beans has hit the route, but he has not read Afro. This can be costly. That's a big win. 17-20 from Afro. He is holding it down. Here comes the hit low from Breach. Forward they fly. Awakening gets bounced out, and that's a break. They're in.
Breach are in. Krep starts it off with 2. It's all about winning these gunfights from here on out. Beans and Awakening combined for another. So spawns everywhere. Right now for Rocker, 3 towards the back. Boston Breach know where the pressure's coming in from. They cannot win here, but you have to find a break if you are Rocker.
Bance trying to find it. Crimp's the last man in there. There's the kills. Here's the front door. Vivid tagged up, but not taken care of. Rocker on the time. Bance doesn't check the right spot. He's still in the front door, mate. Here he goes. taken care of. Is the hard point now open for a moment? Reinforcements and breach are so close. Start. This one's going down on the wire.
But Minnesota, they have set themselves up for the P1 again. All you have to do is win 2 sets of gunfights, and the map is going to be yours. You cannot start it off like that, though. Awakening and Beans combined for 2. Now, Afro, the soul man on the point, he gets cut down. Even though you have the preferred spawns going into the P2, you cannot allow Boston Breach to soak up any of this time.
They're in. Cammy finally taken care of. Fame has got to find 2 here on the point. Tags in a Beans, gets himself 1. Reinforcements forward. Rocker are in. They have the time for now. They can't win it here. They have to set themselves up for a super soak and a P2 hold.
Just gotta win a couple key gunfights, though. Make sure you're paying attention to the water routes. You know that Boston are only 14 seconds away, so they're still gonna apply the pressure over towards P1. That's a clean 4 dead in the feed. Get your trophies down. Let's be aggressive towards the cuts. Boston Breach looking to close this one out.
No one's close enough. No streaks are left. Rocker gonna fly forward. Is anyone there to get in the time contest? I don't know. I don't think so. Vivid from behind. It was a single second and it's done. Not even the home crowd buff could save Rocker from Boston Breach, the new roster. It has paid off with dividends, Jay. It's the respawns, it's the hard points. That is where they found their success. Too little, too late from Minnesota Rocker.
Rocker were fighting, man. Rocker were fighting. But they just let a couple key moments get away from them. A couple key breaks came in from Boston Breach, just like in the map number 1, to secure this series. But just gotta say, welcome back, Vivid. This team struggled in hardpoint with him being absent, 1 and 8. Without him on the lineup, you bring him back, you win 2 versus Minnesota Rocker. You're able to take back that 7th seed. Now, if you're Vegas Legion, you're smiling cheek to cheek because you're still in the fight. Minnesota Rocker just fell short in the respawns. Boston Breach were just a better team in the HPs when it came to the control as well. Welcome back, Vivid, once again. Just set the tone for this Boston squad.
Absolutely, man. He set the tone. He really helped keep those boys alive and kicking in that hard point. Not to mention insane performance out of Krem when it came to the control mode. If not for that round 11 magic we saw at Rocker, that could have been a brutal 3-0. But hey, still plenty of COD to play. Still lots to go for here in the run up to Major 5. That scoreline, though, is a screamer, man. That was a great series. Tough scenes, though, for the Rocker fans. Their energy was unmatched. The passion and the good times had here in St. Paul at the Palace Theatre. I mean, this was an amazing show, dude. I'm not kidding, Jay. So exciting to be here. But hey, that's tough. Everybody gets a free t-shirt on the way out, I'm pretty sure. I got myself a hoodie. Hope you had a good time and made some great memories. We're almost ready to throw the desk. But Jay, it was a lot of fun working with you, bro. High five.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. Good job. Wait, which way are we going? This way? All right, good job. No, wrong way. There you go.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Good stuff, though. But yeah, I think the desk is pretty much ready to roll. This has been an incredible show. I just wish Rocket could have pulled the win out because we'd have probably burnt this place to the ground.
Yeah. Hey, Study, watch this. That's how you do it, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that sucks, guys. I'm sorry.
I'll leave you out.
Thank you.
Much love there, Stud. Miles is headed to the bar, and for good reason. There is an awesome crowd there in Minnesota. I wish we were there with all the fans. Unfortunately for Minnesota, though, it's Boston. The team 1 spot ahead of them in the standings will remain there after another 10 points go to the breach.
I'm not exactly surprised by this outcome, but I will say I am incredibly surprised by the ginormous turnaround from Boston Breach. Remember the stat going into this: 1 and 8 in hardpoint with Nero and Kremp plugged into the roster. Again, I don't think that we can pinpoint a player being at the fault of this, but I will say Boston, coming off of Major 4, were the worst hardpoint team in the league. 12th overall, and they come into this series and they have a dominant map number 1 win and then close out that Hydro hardpoint map number 4. So already things are looking incredibly good for the Boston Breach.
And you said something while we were walking back to the set. This is the best Boston you have seen. Is that since the iteration of this franchise, or is that just this year here in 2023?
Yeah, you know, from a first look, Chris, in the way that they're playing, that was the first time I've seen Boston with teamwork. I'll be honest. Like, I mean, they're getting away with wins by just slaying, making plays here and there. But they had an immense amount of teamwork in this game. I mean, you think about some of the retakes they had in that control, some of the rotations and breaks at the very end there. I mean, think about the end of that Hydro. It's Vivid and Kremp going around through water. Vivid throws his life away, baiting out. Kremp then finesses his life and finds 3 to give them that lead to win that game. That is one of many examples that we saw throughout this series. I really like the dynamic that they have.
Big Wake and Vivid meshing well. Kremp and Beans now moving up from the academy squad to the starting lineup and really turning this team around the second half of the year.
What I think is so funny about what Ant touched on, the teamwork aspect of this, is the fact that the storylines of Kremp and Beans coming up from the same challenger team, now having that duo-ship, and now we have Awakening and Vivid from the previous Florida iteration roster that we saw, now back together on Boston Breach with that teamwork gelling. So maybe there's a little bit of chemistry there.
You guys are onto something. Let's take a look at one of the key plays. Why did Boston win Hydro? Well, it's all about rotations, and we saw some crucial gunnies on both sides. Antho, you wanted to cover the new guy. What did Kremp bring to the team today?
Yeah, well, I love what Kremp does. I mean, this kid is absolutely cracked on the map. And they go for this hard rotation through water here. Well, it was a little bit prior to this, but you see Vivid and Kremp both go around water. Vivid dives out, throws a stun, connects on it, and then Kremp finds 3, and they end up getting a majority of that time and put them in position to close this out. And as you can see in the kill column, like, they're not exactly mega outslaying them, right? They're still getting it done. Prior to this, when you watch a Boston game, if they aren't outslaying their opponent, they're not even close in those hard points. So some big improvements when it came to teamwork.
Yeah, Boston always had the slaying. I don't think they were ever really lacking in that category. It was just kind of about the heads-up play sometimes. Like you saw in the overall KDs, Vivid had a .81, but he's the number 2 in engagement when it comes to hardpoint, number 1 when it comes to control. He is constantly throwing out his life and getting in these high-pressure situations, but he's getting away with it. And I think that's really what Boston needed. And coming into the series also against a home crowd, I think they really showed up.
We are Vivid stands here on the desk, and Nero, don't think we don't still love you, brother, but it's Vivid earning our scuff play of the game, and he's not alone. Joined by Big Wake, round 2, control, crucial kills here in the final moments.
Yeah, I mean, this control was absolutely epic. I mean, this round, and then you also think about the last round, like, these guys are making plays. Vivid finesses his life for so long here at Junk, just staying alive, staying down, while Awakening goes through mid, tries to make some plays, gets up and through bottom gym, but it doesn't even matter because Vivid and Kremp pop off and get the kills from within the point, and they end up closing it out with a 2-0 lead.
Boston Breach earning your scuff play of the game and another 10 points. That will keep them currently our 7th seed, as only 8 will be making it to COD Champs. Big thanks to everyone tuning in, and a big shout out to those on social media. If you've been spamming the hashtag CDL2023, you might be on this stream. We got Mocha. Anyone else watching? Yeah, let's go. Last stand, as the Rocker events are loved by everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy your time, Minnesota, with my guy Miles Ross. When we come back, it is the final battle of the night. Toronto Major 3 champs taking on our returning champs, LA Themes, coming off their win in Columbus.
feel away, cause I'm next, I'm a threat. Oh yeah, really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. Gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. Gotta run up the next, point to the sky with the one up, I'm blessed. I'm young, rich, and black, so you know I'm a threat.
So what's the plan? Same crew, but this time, we take everything.
And Dylan Adams has picked up 3 in a row, looking to take care of the entire squad, and he's done it. Well, this is a big moment. LaRue is cooking. He comes out of the break. I think he did. You can see the arrow comes. Here it comes. Oh, by the second. Hugh runs into trouble. Oh my God. Kenny on the flank. Kenny on the flank. Kenny!
Welcome back, everybody. It is the final major qualifier, week 1, day 2, and this is going to be the showdown between our 2 toughest squads on the night. Toronto Ultra, Major 3 champs, taking on LA Thieves, Major 4 champs. Over $300,000 already in the bank for both teams. So let's just take a look at this best of 5 because they're already locked in for champs. This is all about pride tonight, Allie.
Yeah, and I think what comes up with the series when it comes to the maps and modes is there is an opportunity here for LA Thieves because they're getting 2 of their best search and destroys. My biggest question mark right now for Toronto is why they did not pick Fortress Search and Destroy. They allow that map to go through. They give LA Thieves 2 of their best SMDs, and it's not even that Toronto are that good at it. They're 4 and 8 on Hotel SMD, and they decide to pick that over Fortress where they are 6 and 4. I think that's a very large misstep from them, even though that's game 5 in this series. So if it even gets there.
LA Thieves are the favorite according to the chat's predictions right now, but let's take a look at their opponent because Ultra's coming off a stomping of Seattle Surge, a 3-0 last night. Scrap, Kleenex, Insight, Hixie, all putting up numbers. What's the key, though, to take down this squad here in LA Thieves?
Well, I mean, like Ali just touched on, like that search and destroy game 5, it's likely going there, so you got to turn up, but also prove you're the better control team. Stage 3, Toronto was #1 round win percentage. LA Thieves, they were #1 in stage 4. These are the 2 best control teams we had on the entire year. It is really going to come down to it on a map like Asilo, where both these teams have been elite, and then also established rotation dominance on a map like Fortress Hardpoint. You have that out the gate. Their #1 rotation win percentage at 55. Got to keep that going.
Let's take a look at their opponent here. Major 4 champions, LA Thieves, very comfortable on land. Online, how have they been this year, Allie?
LA Thieves have been a little bit hit or miss. I think they get a little bit of a mental block sometimes when it comes to these online matches, but I love that final point for the Monster Energy pre-game notes for Toronto Ultra, the fact that Insight had to do well, because on the flip side for LA Thieves, it's gonna be Octane to just continue his absolute masterclass dominance. The last time these 2 teams matched up, it was Octane who had a monster of a series. He had a 1.5 overall, but specifically a 2.38 in the hard point. So I feel like this is really going to be an AR battle.
All right, we are done here at the desk because our casters are ready. Before we go, though, quick predictions, starting with you, Nameless. Are you going with Toronto or LA Thieves tonight?
I'm going with Toronto Ultra, 3-2. We're going game 5, and they got something up their sleeve. They let Hotel get there, we'll see.
Alley Cat?
LA Thieves.
LA Thieves? Give me some numbers.
3-1.
There you have it. I'm going with Thieves again. Octane just got engaged. He's going to bring that big dad energy into this battle. We send it over to our casters. We got I Hold Shift and Mr. Proper on the mic.
Thank you, friends. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is a marquee matchup for these 2 squads. It's one of those that you feel like it could shift the power rankings overall because of the fact that both of these 2 teams have won our 2 most recent majors. But I think the biggest thing here is, can Thieves replicate what they did last year and find this late season form where really no one's able to touch them?
Yeah, it really does feel like that history is doomed to repeat itself. I mean, just got done winning Major 4. Who's to say that the skill ceiling has already been met for the LA Thieves? Toronto, though, could honestly just play upside down for different circumstances. I mean, obviously the Deaths already touched on it. Both these teams are going to be at champs, but ultimately seeding very much so could still be on the line should you want that 3rd or 4th.
That's the big thing about it. I mean, setting yourself up to get to champs is obviously kind of job #1, but putting yourself in the best position possible to win, of course, the ultimate goal. So with that, Toronto looking to get themselves, again, kind of this full head of steam forward after their series yesterday versus Seattle. They're looking pretty primed for it, but it is your defending Stage 4 champions in their way. We've got Ultra, we got Thieves. Let's get it on.
Also needs to be talked about the last time that these two teams faced off against each other was when Standy was still in the roster all the way back on the 4th of February. So maybe some stark differences in between Toronto Ultra off their hot win yesterday versus Seattle. And but you know, I mean, they're already flying all the way through Art, found themselves a couple of kills. They're quite content with allowing LA Thieves to set up around the hard point so long as they can get back munitions.
And Envoy can keep just finessing this. Good work by Draza on the old time here, just to kind of make sure that, okay, I know I can focus at the back. Well won by Envoy. That should really determine the circumstances set up for Gallows coming up for P2. Toronto spawning in the worst possible position. Insight will have a chance spawning up towards Hay to kind of cut across the archways, but Octane's kind of keeping the rest of Ultra at bay with this mid-cross, or so you would think. Scrap peels him out of the window. Envoy tested at new, and how about Ultra? They clean off the old time, and they've got numbers to flip the spawns around as we head over to the second.
Octane has been such a huge issue for anybody facing the Thieves on hardpoint so far, boasting that 1.10 KD, just holding these longer lines of sight, but finally the push comes through for Ultra. They get back munitions, they flip the spawns in for the initial time of 2.
Octane in a little bit of trouble. Takes a lot of shots, but sends just as many back. Problem is, lots of help for the Ultra are coming together here at the backside anchored. And that's going to lead to the Thieves now having to reaggress this from the front. Oh, great predictions from Insight. Peels off one through the doorway, cut through mid-map. Clinics gets his first elimination, and how about Ultra? First 30 seconds are theirs, and they're looking maybe even arguably better for the back 30.
Yeah, working so well in tandem with one another, making sure that they maintain munitions control. And LA Thieves, they're making the right call. Didn't work. You were looking at about 30 seconds left. You want to kind of toss up about 15 seconds just to maybe try to break P2 again. No, you go in for the full rotation over towards P3. Even Ultra giving up the old time, trying to flip out the spawns. Will be successful in the first.
Oh, huge for Thieves, though. That is so critical. Ultra force LA to spawn behind P2 right as they hit rotation. Thieves needed to win those gunfights in through maps, and it keeps the status alive for them to set up over towards this courtyard fountain area. Toronto looking to get early through this side door over towards Envoy's direction, but he's good for the both Ultra members that are trying to contest. So that's going to be 4 in a row for him. The Thieves have put together one heck of a hold. Killing spree is where it stops for Envoy. Octane in a little bit of trouble, but deals with it nicely. Still alive, still a trophy system to keep him in place, and his teammates are trying to flood back forward to help him out a little bit further in towards it. Hixie for the double turns and takes care of a stunned up Octane, and Toronto will get a break here at Fountain.
Oh man, Octane thought he had Hixie dead to right. Stop shooter, we've all been there, but now Hixie up to 8 in 3. If Kleenex wasn't going to pick things up early, Hixie's going to continue to be the playmaker, and that couples along nicely for Scrap, 12 and 7. That's a big break, whether way you look at it, for LA Thieves to not get a full 60 there. Ultra will be able to maintain just a very small lead, and you still have Ultra members trying to make further plays across the map. Insight's going to get found out top in the, or the back of munitions, excuse me, as LA Thieves set themselves up top rails for ahead of P4.
Kenny also trying to lock down mid, making life difficult for Ultra when it comes to hitting this hard point from multiple points of ingress. A lot of this going to come from the side door. Shots from Draza good, but not good enough. Insight gets the kill. Octane tested on the second floor as the contest comes in for Ultra, but ultimately it just does not have enough numbers to secure the break. Last one in was Kleenex, and Envoy gets his double, now 3 in a row, as LA set up their hold once again with still 35 seconds to fight.
Yeah. Ultra going to give one good shake at this, but they're going to try to maintain stables control ahead of the rotation 4-5. Going to be able to find at least a couple trades. This hit's mostly coming through up top on rails. Octane's been a big issue as far as this hold is concerned. And Ultra are looking to flood, but it's Envoy down low that still finds 2, trying to keep Thieves in for the scrap.
Gave Draza a real good chance at it, but unfortunately Toronto's clean hit led to just too many members there for the Thieves to deal with. 94 plays 84. Scrap just kind of holding over to the exit. Goodness, the damage is significant, but unfortunately he does not win the gunfight, which means Thieves will get the bit of Scrap and have a chance to rotate on the exit. Insight looking to get aggressive maybe early. Steps out of the hard point just before it opens, so his position is still concealed for the time being. But that will change as now he steps out from the side door. Alarm bells start to ring for the Thieves. They flush him out, no problem. Kleenex trying to re-hit, but a well-placed stun keeps him locked into place, but ultimately not a big deal, apparently. Kleenex gets the kill, stays alive. It's eventually a frag that gets the elimination onto him, but Toronto have a chance to break on through.
Yeah, it's only Hixie here. He's inside the hard point, but he has so much assistance by way of Kleenex as well as Insight in top and bottom single. Trade still coming through. And Thieves still have those closer spawns in and around P3. So Ultra gonna have to respect that and then recontest for maybe some 20 seconds.
Tight game still. Insight on 4 up top. Teammates stacking below him. Thieves trying to put together a response, holding from the outside doors, but Insight, oh, thought he was gonna be good for the double. Octane was tagged down low, but not to be. Scrap time, fully earned. Thieves enjoying just over a 30-point lead as we rotate back over towards P1.
That was a significant flip of the first set of hard points by way of the Thieves there. Good choices made there during the P5. Going to have just a very slight lead going in towards the second set, but I mean, they're staring down the barrel of what used to be old Fortress control. They got to break out from this side of the map, and that mostly comes through the middle as well. Got to find these trades inside. Hixie, Scrap, all getting involved. This is going to accrue more time while maintaining map positioning.
That was a really tough gunfight for Scrap as he continues to flourish. An impressive KD thus far, even in a currently losing effort. Lead getting reduced to minimal numbers. Back within single digits. Hixie looking for a lineup, but only gets one. And with that, the Thieves will clear off the first hard point. Kleenex still thinking he can contest it, rightfully so. Double gets tallied. Another one over to the other side as Toronto look to not just play for the old time. They're looking to set up for P2. And have time to go on into a Toronto Ultra. Listen it.
Closed. Yeah, low pills already went back P2. Behind you, single. Dead. That's one I ring. That's one I ring. Yeah, there's probably two, at least two now.
Help you.
Yeah. He's backstage. And close bench. On the side door. Stage. One bullet behind it. I'm getting side door now. In the side door. Push that. Push out. One's closed as well on me. Yeah. Take your time. For me. Close the side door, child. He's on the back bench. On the back stairs. On you. And one's like at stage, I think. Close right as well. Close right side door. E5 dead. Left side door now. I'm weak as fuck. I'm weak as fuck, Gemini. Side door closed.
I spawned cage. Cage now.
Like cage, where's cage? I spawned out, I'm rotating.
Play ahead. Already P1 Scrap. Absolute. He's going.
Side door, Jimmy, one shot.
Gun side green. Might go low.
I need your side door, Jimmy. I need side door.
Keep on that. I spawned out. They might spawn front and Scrap as well.
Him side door still.
Top green on me.
Open.
Side door dead, one open. Top green me dead.
Open my back.
One boy's on hold.
Okay.
It's a big
front of
rotation, boys.
Yeah.
We get back to P1.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
I'm getting out as well, bro.
I'm only top green. You might have a streak.
Yeah.
One of you save a trophy just in case I have a streak.
I should get it.
Low green. I'm staying here, bro.
I have a gate, okay?
Yeah. You in green, Toby?
Yeah, I'm in. They're top. Low. They're playing for me here.
I've some low green for you.
One's gate now.
They're not seeing low green.
Okay, they're going P1.
I need a gate.
I'm green.
Give me low green now.
Trophy gate.
Landing gate. Two
on gate. I got one, two, I need help.
I have help.
Front intel on me.
Dixie second hard point, but the focus immediately on in towards Courtyard as the trades come out 2 for 2. Toronto looking and sounded calm in the comms, but still, even though they're out slaying and out fragging the Thieves, the lead continues to persist for LA. They're doing a really nice job of keeping their focus on the objective.
Yeah, really trying to make a very big argument against LA Thieves being the third ranked team as far as break percentage on a map like Fortress Hardpoint. This Hardpoint itself here at 3 has been big for Toronto Ultra. LA Thieves still have members to try to contest this. Octane's going to swing wide. Had some assistance there from Envoy on the back end of things. So 15 seconds should be chalked up here for Ultra, trying to set themselves up for the rotation over towards P4. But the majority of them are spawning over on the side of maps closer towards P1. That's all thanks to Draza. He's already top rails.
Yep. A huge first blood for Draza as they rotate over. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble, though. Not a lot of help nearby. Just how long can you keep it going individually? It's a second. Kenny, not having the greatest of games, could be a huge playmaker right here as he tries to work around the back, see if they can force Toronto to spawn out. The Ultra very aware of the situation, kind of playing anchor in a more reserved way up top in the second floor. Pinstripe goes to kill feed. Kenny on the way and no turned away. Hixie, an impressive double as he goes to 19 and 14. Draza trying to force something, but ultimately not going to get anything at all. Toronto clean things up, and this may be their best chance to get this back to level terms.
The shoe is quite literally on the other foot. Then he got Scrap up top rails. Hixie's down low, trying to soak up as much time. He just needs to stay alive. I mean, Kleenex was trying to at least find that double. He'll go 1 for 1 for the time being, but it sets up Envoy to potentially contest top rails, just over flooding Ultra setup with their numbers that these are able to find for themselves. That's a crucial 15 seconds, but the rotation over towards 5 again is going to be held by Ultra. Can they hold on?
Late stages of this map, Thieves continue to find a way to bounce back amidst a ton of adversity on some of these setups that Toronto's put together. How about that for Envoy? Lots of damage to assist Draza, and then cleans up Kleenex right in front of him. Long range shots from Draza looking to try to ambitiously take Ultra from bottom maps. Not going to work out. Kenny thinking he's got the green light to possibly dissuade this Ultra setup, but no, not to be. Envoy stunned front of the hard point. Can't quite get through. Team nade though comes out. Leaves Kleenex by himself. He's only watching the cross, but a stun placed nicely. Does allow an opportunity for Draza to get eliminated. The hard point stays neutral.
And finally lost to Kleenex top stables though, and that allows LA Thieves to start working their way through the open archway and maybe try to start taking a look at some of this time. Octane is just going to see Hixie run right past him, so that's going to be a nice little 3-piece for Octane as he snaps the Scrap. looking for another player over by P1, won't be able to find it. But that was a crucial moment of time for LA Thieves to deny the Ultra members so much more time off of P5, will maintain their 20-point lead going into the third and final set.
Now Kenny with attack in hand. A key double just as we rotate back over towards the first hard point. Focus, thinking that Toronto's going to come around the back. Their spawn still, though, on the right side of the minimap. The only one actually hitting this route is Kleenex. Draza scouts him out. Kills good. This is where Thieves could really put this one a touch out of reach, but Toronto from the front are starting to find eliminations that they need. No one for Thieves can actually stay inside the hard point. Trophy system down. Spam shots for Envoy are good. Spawn's also out at the moment, so Envoy's got to do it himself, and he's good for it. The double comes through. 32 and 22 for Envoy. Knows he's got players around him, but help has arrived in the form of Octane, who gets not just two, but maybe almost the third. Damage is enough to allow the trade to come through quickly, and Draza will have a chance to continue building this LA lead.
Trades are fine. You gotta tell us to take a look at the rotation over towards New. Scrap's playing for the future. 36 and 27 for Scrap. Still trying to fight for some of that junk time there at P1. 232 and counting up for LA Thieves. Whether Ultra like it or not, they gotta chalk it. Play for a couple exits. 3 for 1 goes the kill feed. Can that allow Envoy to stay alive at the P1 cannons? Hixie more than aware of it. He's pressing up further forward. P2's about to pop.
191, 234. Toronto in position for P2. Numbers not quite able to get the kills, though, so now Thieves can actually try to flip this from the middle of the map. Kleenex realizing the threat is on the way. Scrap in the back, needs to anchor it up, but only can take down one. Inside the hard point, though, Toronto still win the battle. Inside at 32 and 26. I mean, Toronto is slaying, but they're still having a real tough time keeping themselves alive on the objective. Envoy for double, predicted by Insight, and the help from Hixie is good. A chance for Ultra to hold and get this back to level.
You just gotta hold this and then win a couple gunfights and then maybe push through the double arches, but LA Thieves still want to close it out here. Dross is able to at least find 2. It sets up Scrap as well as Kleenex to clean house as Scrap finds 3 on the back end. 42nd kill for Scrap. Now you gotta just bull rush your way over towards P3.
It's tough, though, because Thieves could technically contest and maybe still win it on ult. No, not anymore. The gunfight won on ult by Kleenex allows a chance for Toronto to rotate. It's going to be to about 248 to 224. Thieves are going to have one chance, maybe, to put together a solid break. If they do not find these opening kills, things will have to come in pretty piecemeal. Kenny gets the first. Envoy up top tested by Hixie, but he can't quite find the kills. Thieves trying to make their way around the back, but no. Ultra find a way to lock things up initially. One more member spawns into place. Inside in trouble. It's all just down now to Kleenex. 244, 248, but the break is good. And Thieves, despite Kenny nearly going double neg, will still come out the victors of map number 1.
Oh, look at Octane with a smile on his face as well. He was frying. He was setting up Envoy for continuous amounts of success. And that's when we go back and we really have to look at the turning point there at the second set of hard points when Ultra had the rotation going in towards P4, when they broke P4, and then also had the rotation going over towards P5 and got contested for such a long time. This is the success rate that is the Thieves on a map like Fortress Hardpoint. They do such an annoyingly good job at putting their ARs in such key positions to cut down SMG players upon rotation and keeping these players out of the hardpoint itself. 38 and 31 for Octane with 4,500 damage. Like, come on. Yeah, Scrap had a great hardpoint, 43 and 31. He was trying to meet the pace that Envoy was laying down with a 5K damage, but it just was not enough for the overall teamwork that was the LA Thieves. Like you said, Alan, Ultra, they definitely outslayed, but Thieves definitely played more fundamental hardpoint.
You want the hard-hitting fact here, Proper?
Hit me.
Scrap just earned the overall respawn kill total for record.
For the
43
loss.
total kills in the loss. On the other side, Kenny just secured the most respawn deaths. No one had gotten to 40 this year. He ends with 42 and Thieves still win the map. Look, say what you want about the individuals on either side. That takes a ton of discipline for LA Thieves to be outslayed that badly and still come away a winner on a tough map like Fortress Hardpoint. Big shout out to Tim, our stats guy, for hitting us with that one. That is a unbelievable statistic on either side.
For a photo finish there at the end of the map number 1, I can only imagine how many records might honestly be broken, especially how close we are to champs in between some top 5 squadrons here. Losing map 1 might not be the end-all be-all when you're looking at it from Toronto's perspective. The hard points might have been pretty tough, but you really got to have some answers when it comes down to search and destroy as we take a little bit further in-depth look as far as the stats are concerned. Again, I mean, Envoy, Octane, 1.29, 1.23 respectively. Yeah, Kenny can drop a 0.43. I guess it's just fine and dandy so long as Octane's finding 3 pieces all off the damage and Envoy's there to follow up soon after. Yeah, Thieves, Hardpoint, looking pretty strong.
Yeah, that core trio of Draza, Envoy, and Octane were just getting so much work done. I mean, think about how many times Toronto was walking away 4 for 1 in the trades. Almost full team ups, it felt like, on rotation, which would lead you to believe that, oh, Toronto's going to put together nearly a perfect hold, you think. But no, not the case. Thieves continue to find a way in, negate a lot of the kill pressure that was really kind of amounting to them feeling like they were going to be down and out. But again, you look for potential champion factors and monikers, and being able to bounce back against adversity is one of the things you always look for, and Thieves have definitely shown that over the course of not just that last map, but over the course of the last calendar year as we look closer and closer to the end of the Modern Warfare 2 title.
Yep, few things I guess are absolutely certain when it comes down to it. Death taxes and Thieves popping off at the end of the year for sure. But I mean, hey, there's still a lot more COD that has to be played, especially from the Thieves. You already know you're guaranteed champs, but now it's really going to be crunch time to be able to really flesh out a lot of these maps that you've been losing in these best of 7s and these best of 5s, and just make sure that you truly are the strongest team. I mean, they are the #1 team as far as vibes. I feel like these guys are never not laughing. They're always having a good time, and why wouldn't you ahead of this embassy search and destroy where you are currently 5-1?
That is the big story point. Almost felt like maybe a missed opportunity there for Toronto into the Fortress hardpoint, because, yeah, going into this search, this is a very tough task. Now, Toronto, no strangers to this map mode combo, but again, the success that Thieves have had over the course of the last, we'll say the last couple of months now, has largely been by way of getting an opportunity to play your best search map, right? I mean, a lot of these have come through because of that. They played this against Minnesota most recently, and they looked good on it, beating the Rockers 6-1. So if you're the Thieves, you're thinking 2-0 up. Otherwise, for Toronto, it's, you know, what can we put together here to try to play one of our not necessarily most rehearsed maps here for the search to get this back to a 1-1 count.
It's just interesting how the track record kind of fleshes itself out for Embassy Search and Destroy for Toronto Ultra. Again, it's as far as a long-time series record is concerned, Search and Destroy, you see it on your screen. I mean, 4-4, first blood percentage, round win percentage, all of it's going to favor the Thieves. And the only time that they lost it, they got blown out of the water by Atlanta at Major 3. They lost at 0-6. You would never expect that, especially looking at the stats. But yesterday, that's fair. It's a great argument there, buddy. But I think that for Toronto, we can even look as far as most recency for yesterday. It's just how well they were manipulating the map, catching these timings in the middle of the map, look towards Hixie and Kleenex to really catch LA Thieves off guard if they can even do so. These stuns and nades and everything else in between need to be on point for the Thieves.
Their performance yesterday versus Seattle still had them not really finding a lot of first bloods, but just doing a nice job making sure the bomb could never get planted. I imagine Thieves have done their homework and realized that Hixie very regularly is going to try to play you through mid-alley. Envoy first blood onto aforementioned Hixie, and that leads to an opportunity for Envoy just to walk on over in towards B for maybe an early opportunity to plant.
His ult distance is going to be Octane. He's got the boomstick all the way over by Potts in sight. Yeah, that's not a game of whack-a-mole. That is evidently fun for anybody involved, but it should allow Envoy to maybe try to plant the bomb. He will get it and get out with his life.
Or not. Thought for sure he was going to be good for it, but how about the cleanup for Toronto through mid? Draws now the last one standing. Just going to have to check this defuse, and well, it's a Semtex well placed by Kleenex, and this was the story that we saw versus Seattle yesterday, right? 3v4 situations that Toronto just looks so good at when it comes to completely controlling that B side of the map, and that happens once again, even though they lose Hixie in the opening moments.
It's like that instant download that Toronto get all off of being first blooded. From there on out, it's just really quick snap transitions on where a lot of these players are located at for the Thieves or even Seattle yesterday to find the trades required and just deny so much space so quickly. Once they understood that Octane's all the way back, sniping back Pots, they knew that the bomb was obviously planted. They had to deal with Envoy. He doesn't get out for free. And even off of Hixie's death, it was more than enough information for Toronto to collect and win the round, even with a man disadvantage.
Yep. Here we go. Ultra looking to get aggressive quickly over the top, but no, Thieves not going to be bamboozled by this. It's two different members that are spamming down the cross, and okay. That's about as clean as a defensive start you could possibly ask for, but Hixie and Scrap take care of the defenders right on top of B, and now, of course, Scrap is going to know that, okay, if there are two members that are shooting at us on the cross, I'm going to be under threat here on the back as both Thieves members have flipped the map around.
That's how it's about to run out for Scrap, though. Unbeknownst to him, Envoy was on the other side of the doors there at Potts. Now, Kenny and Envoy, they're forced to play so distant from one another. And Hixie might just give Kenny the engagement that he's looking for with this late wrap over towards A.
This is still such a trepidatious moment, though, and now Kenny will be figured out. Problem is, losing Scrap means that Hixie just have to default to playing for the post plant in a 1v2. He did one of these yesterday, but that was on the B site. Dead silence at the ready. Slowly clears out laundry. No doors open. Stun comes out. Envoy gives him the battle, but Hixie takes the win. Now to the 1v1. It's Kenny on the other side. After a disappointing opening hardpoint, can he find a way to lock things up? No, it's Hixie just completely takes him by surprise. And Ultra once again see another 1v2 from Charlie Hixie.
Feels like old times, doesn't it? Last year in Vanguard with Hixie and Scrap in 2v odd situations, playing for Ultra Academy. Now doing it on the big stage here for Toronto. Hixie with the clutch, popping dead silence after the bomb gets planted off the information that Scrap was able to convey for him where he died from. Kenny was all the way on the backside of the Godheady. So for Hixie, by proxy, you would probably have to assume that middle of the map, if not in through around servers, is where Envoy might be located at. And he finds them both, just juggling the timing back and forth. 2-0 lead for Ultra here in the search.
Scrap on the cross. Doesn't quite connect on Nadraza. Envoy also had the cross in play. Kleenex thinking about toggling in towards denying this plant. Not going to work out. This is what Hixie does, though. Tries to work through mid-map. Envoy expected it. Doesn't make a difference. Scrap also wins a pistol gunfight on the other side of the map. So we get to a 2v2 as the trades come out. Draza will collect the bomb and immediately go for the plant. Insight looking for Octane, and, well, he will get the information he was looking for, but the problem is Draza's gotten the plant.
Scrap needs to make the play going up through the middle of the map. Has he been able to find another weapon? That's got to be the question. Gets in an immediate gunfight versus Draza, and that's just no fun for anybody involved. Draza now finding 3 in the round, looking for the ace. Loses his teammate, 27 seconds.
Insight should know that he's going to have contact with Draza around this bomb site at some point in time, dealing with the post-plant situation, topside office. Insight drops. Oh, but the shots clean from Draza. Doesn't miss a bullet. And no way, not going to happen this time for the 1v2. LA get on the board.
And Draza gets the entire ace to boot. I mean, just absolutely crazy trades, especially for the positioning that he found himself in the middle of the map, because I honestly thought that Hixie and Scrap, with those first two kills that did come through, that Hixie was going to be able to find the next transitional gunfight on a Draza. Draza denies. He calls round. Finding those 2 kills, getting the bomb in a safe enough position, and just isolating these players one after another. Draza coming to this round on a 4 spree, breaks up the round count there for Toronto when they opened.
Opening snipe. Oh, it's going to feel bad. Octane looked like he connected onto Kleenex center mass. Not to be. Draza pops up. Little jump shots will work out. Bomb not planted. Kleenex does secure the trade, collects the bomb, and immediately starts to go for the plant. But the problem is, once again, LA flipped the map around, and that immediately dissuades the plant from coming through. Scrap is under immense pressure, just trying to keep his life, catch somebody off guard. But as he tries to cross, Octane says no fly zone, picks him out of midair, and it's all down to Kleenex for the 1v3. Shots to Octane, initially decent, but he lives and will also earn the regen as everything resets.
Kleenex double weapon setup has a lot to do, so much ground to cover. I don't know if he saw Envoy up top. Even if he did, doesn't matter. Tough gunfight there in the middle of the map towards top paper. And LA Thieves, again, just having Octane in that positioning just completely denies so much space, trying to cross back over towards tennis courts. And that's great information to have for yourself, especially confirming for Draza, like, hey, it's a fast plane over towards B. You saw where Draza was located at, where he found that kill to stop the plant from coming through initially. And when the map got flipped, when you called it, so much doubt got considered into the brain of Kleenex. He had no idea where to go. His teammate was stuck top paper. Maybe he could rotate over towards A. Wasn't the case at all. His teammates were dropping all around him.
I guarantee you next time we're on a Toronto offensive round, they will be throwing nades towards that bottom side at A. But now, into the defense. Kleenex going to step out of orange for first time. Hixie, well, okay, hi there. Sees Envoy just burst through the doors. Insight able to find another elimination onto Draza, leaving Kenny by himself into a 1v3, and no, Kleenex just completely ruins through palms and tennis, and that's enough for Ultra to take a quick defense. And now we can start to think about, does Ultra try to do something to deny this Thieves push through that they've been able to pull off on the defensive side?
I wonder if it could just be as simplistic as maybe Scrap going over towards the sniper and maybe trying to go for the heat check. I mean, if there's anybody to do it, it's probably going to be Scrap. This guy definitely loves his good old egotistical chows, but think that it's going to be another thing that you want to play this fundamentally sound. Again, that round did end in by way of brute aggression through the middle of the map. That has been Hixie and Kleenex's kind of MOs defensively. But on offense, you really got to try to pick your poison in adaptations. Going back over towards B, it's being watched again, but Kleenex gets across.
This feels like a misplay. I mean, Toronto's going for the Honey Badger, they don't care approach, but once more, it's just that cross becomes the product of first blood. Kleenex does take it to a 3v3, but once again, look at Envoy's position, number 8 in white. He can foil the post plant by playing up top. Kleenex up the ladder, no, doesn't quite beat the timing, and in the same breath, Envoy deals with Scrap, leaving it all down to Insight once again.
All the way into the backside of side admin. He's got an AR, doesn't even have a trophy system, he's got a tac. Maybe he's got a dream, but I don't think that dream involves this 1v3. It's going to be a real tough battle for Insight. We'd almost have to get individual 1v1s out of Draza, Octane, and Envoy. If you can tell by the camera, my voice is a good luck, have fun moment.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Well, does take down Octane. Hold on a second. Plenty of time. Problem is, Trophy Carrier will be making a lot of noise as he tries to collect the bomb. Fun with Doors featuring Insight. Draza still aware as he's playing up top. Cross comes through. Envoy long range and will secure the final damage needed to tally the elimination. And boy, I'll tell you, that's now 3 defensive rounds in a row where Thieves have just gotten away with getting behind Ultra for free.
It's a little bit too easy, isn't it, Alan? I mean, when you spawn defensively in for Embassy, you have this entire parking lot side at your disposal. Octane is always more or less good for going over there, whether he gets the snipe or the damage. It's just good confirmation on where all these Ultra players are located at. Envoy can't be allowed to get admin control that freely. He either has to come through with an AR, watching that line of sight, over towards the parking lot side, stuns all the way from bathrooms over towards Xbox. Just something. Deny some map space if you're aggressively hitting towards B.
Kenny will be left in spawn to watch any potential early nonsense from Ultra in case they're planning on taking a page out of Thieves' book. But no, this time it's Ultra playing very reserved. With that open to pick onto Envoy, who was, by the way, just kind of on a solo mission. Uh-oh, Scrap's got to look at this. Draza, though, I think has seen the glint of the sniper rifle. He says, not interested. Let's just carry out this 3v3 a different way.
Yep. No, thank you. I do not like what you're selling. Kenny was also able to find a trade on a Hixie. Remember, he was that sole player that was all the way to the backside of admin. So he pushed up all the way over by the A-bomb. How much is your Spidey senses tingling there if you're Kleenex? But the push is still over towards B. Another snipe in the round for Scrap.
And Kenny, who was trying to lurk in towards A, does get figured out. So it all rests with Draza, 1v3. Dead silence in play. Gonna split right down the gut. And unfortunately, Kleenex gets absolutely obliterated. Doesn't matter in the end, but that will live in your head a little bit after that little turn on.
I'm gonna lose sleep over that gunfight tonight. I can promise you that much. Here's some replays of Scrap with these snipes. Pixel perfect. Test this man's reaction time. We've been watching it for a long time, you and I, Shift.
Yep.
And of course is able to find that inevitable trade on Draza after his teammate quite literally got spun on. And that was a well-adapted round. I will say that much for Toronto. Again, playing very respectful, giving up a lot of space in the middle of the map, waiting for the challenges to come to them.
Okay, here we go. Scrap will finally get out of admin and try to watch this backside cross inside. Also sniping over the top of this play, and Kleenex gets some blessed hip fire while queuing up a stun. So nades look good. Scrap gets one through mid. And now it's all onto Octane, and this is quickly a 1v3. He does not have a lot of space nor time to work with as the bomb is already planted. Nope.
It's not gonna happen. It's like you're going up against so many different snaky positions, head glitches. There's that inside down yonder with a sniper rifle as well. And even for the Thieves defensively, I mean, they're sitting there probably say the same thing that we are. It's like, surely this time you changed something. It's still the aggressive hit over towards B. They at least scrap back lot to at least watch the flank if it did come through. But that was all settled just with having one player kind of spam from the Xbox side and then everybody else just crumbling around him. Yeah, bless hipfire, whatever may say you for Kleenex. He's been that player when it comes down to these B executes for Ultra to get over by sign and ingress into orange.
Oh, how about Ultra? Now on map point, and this time they will commit 2 members to playing around the flank. Scrap very responsible for catching anybody on rotation in towards B, but interestingly enough, Ultra throw a couple of nades, I think, around the back and don't actually commit to playing on the long flank. They may have completely bamboozled Thieves here. who thinking that this was going to be a flank play. Envoy's committed to getting in towards B, but now all of a sudden, Hixie with that silence sneaks around, and how about the curveball from Ultra? 3v2 situation. Envoy stuck in stairs. Draza panicking to know where exactly Ultra members are in the back, and he has made sound cues, which Hixie picks up on. It all rests with Envoy for a 1v3. First one happens cleanly. And everything will reset as he's got time to play with.
Cool. Envoy looking like Neo in the Matrix, is dodging the 50 cal bullet. That silence is about to run out. He might find some pretty good timing here.
He's in a good position in case anyone from Ultra tries to double back towards B. They've isolated themselves. Scrap is deep, inside a bit closer, and they're predicting that it's going to be a B play. There's the isolation, but no Envoy cannot finish off the kill. So now he goes into the true 1v2, and he's going to take it to eliminations. He's not even going to bother with the plant. He needs to be able to take both these players down quickly, and Scrap has read the play. He backs out. Doesn't matter. His teammate gets the kill, and how about Ultra? In back-to-back days, they find a way to take the Embassy searches.
Yep, wouldn't you know it? Coming through on Embassy Search and Destroy, a map mode combination that has not been too friendly historically all year long for Ultra, but recency bias is definitely something you could buy into for the Ultra camp. They are looking great in their past 2 times on this map mode combination. Once against Seattle yesterday, and even better versus the Thieves today. Able to showcase a lot of good adaptations in playing against the strengths that were the Thieves. I mean, through so many rounds, the Thieves were getting away with highway robbery, with Envoy getting inside of admin for free, Octane getting a lot of damage with the snipe, yet didn't have the flashiest KD ratio at 3 and 8, but I mean, just to negate all the damage that Octane was finding continuously, it was, again, Hixie for the entry. 8 and 8 was dying a lot with the bomb. That's almost what you expect when you're flying across the line of sight. That is that Xbox line, but Scrap was there to pick things up. The AR is absolutely electric, and then Kleenex really turned things up in the latter half of that map number 2.
And just comparing today to yesterday for Ultra, much better when it comes to collecting first bloods and holding numbers advantages. It felt like a lot of their round wins yesterday came in 2v4s or 1v2 situations. Not so much the case today, as Thieves now all of a sudden find themselves in a 1-1 with an El Asilo control to come. Ooh, it's going to be a saucy one. Don't you go anywhere, friends. We're in our final matchup. It is the monster match of the evening. Thieves looking to assert their dominance, but Ultra looking to improve, put up a fight. We go to El Asilo after this. Welcome back there, friends, family, and all you crazy COD fans. We have got a good one so far. Toronto, LA, stuck in a 1-1 map series count, and we're going to an El Asilo control. And look, both teams have loved to see a hotel come through for the control. That much we know, especially after what Toronto did to Seattle yesterday. It was open, but LA choose to go to a different location, and maybe some that was influenced off of what they saw yesterday from Toronto.
Let's not forget, I mean, even as far as the control is concerned, LA have gotten rid of hotel control quite a bit, albeit picking it 12 times, 63% of the time they play control. It's been mostly over towards hotel, but you can't fault them for wanting to come to El Asilo control. Let's not forget, too long ago, this did win them a chip at the end of the day. So, if you are the Thieves, it would be nice to be able to see some consistency in between. El Asilo control has not been the most friendly map mode combination for the Ultra side.
Well, here we go. See how things go. Toronto holds a bit of an edge statistically on both the defensive and offensive sides when it comes to win percentage on either. But LA will start on the offense first, take their time here out of spawn, just kind of feel things out, see what Ultra wants to try to get away with, and see if they can punish. And so far, so good. First 2 kills allow Thieves a chance to get on to B early.
Third in attack win percentage. And the way you got to do it mostly through El Asilo, it's the opening breaks. If you can convincingly do the opening breaks, you should be able to see 60 seconds pretty quickly. But the returning gunfight's that much better for Ultra. They push away LA Thieves away from the B control zone. We'll take their virtues now over towards A, especially with Octane top tower.
It's almost a small little bit of sleight of hand right there. Look at us, we're going B. Never mind. We're going to put Octane at top tower. Good luck getting back to A if you're Toronto. Second tick on the way with the double stack from both Draza and Envoy, and Ultra may just chalk this. Yeah, you have to kind of respect the fact that Octane's up top, but now that he drops, hold on a second, Ultra can actually just flood on through. Draza the only one to survive the play, and how about that clear from Ultra? A key pick to Octane opens the door.
Yeah, it definitely always looks like they're about to chalk it, but more than aware are Ultra that they have to deal with Octane top tower. As you say, once he falls, the rest of the push comes through from the top cat, especially over by the rock mound. So now the map more or less stabilized. Kenny's gonna stop the clock again around 42 seconds back over towards A.
Oh, Kenny needs to step off the zone for a moment and does keep his life while giving his teammates a chance to reinforce. Draza still holds the clock at 39 seconds. Progress being made. An extra 60. Looking good. Ultra this time not going to hit the trigger and try to retake. And with that, the Thieves will get the extra 60 and they reduce the life count just to a 1 advantage for Ultra.
Still so much to do, though. I mean, off of the A control zone, you should be aware, if you are Thieves, that all the spawns are still back to Pride Rock. That's going to be a tough gunfight. Whether or not Kenny wants it or not, it's going to be versus Hixie up top. He's down to 30 HP, has to give it up for now. Trades are going to continuously be good for Ultra to maintain presence here at B.
They need to get Kenny out of this position. Stun comes through. Kenny backs off. Still holds his life. Key play by Kenny as the rest of Thieves start to stack up and make their way through that very dangerous soccer field. Kenny now flipping the script, checks down onto Insight. Last player left for Ultra's defense. Big one onto Kenny, but the problem is there's a double stack now on the way. Can Ultra get back and assist this enough? Draza cleaning out top party. Will drop eventually, but doesn't make much of a difference because Thieves are still on. Second tick of progress is getting blocked, and the third, well, that will have to wait a little while longer as Ultra eventually get the regain.
Kenny's still here, actually looking to make an argument, and Draza will find scrap from range. So now Draza's going to start pushing up past the football field and just flies into QueenX's face, takes him down. Next is up going to be inside top AC. He will find one. Hixie Semtex will clean up the second. The map will remain stabilized. The only player pushed up for the Thieves is Octane.
He's got to create a play somewhere, you think, with 38 seconds remaining. Hixie looking to go aggressive around the back of this offensive play. Killing a Draza good. Kenny also drops just in front of Hixie's line of sight, but the Thieves that are forward still hold an opportunity for the offense to move. QueenX takes care of one. Now it's just down to, can you find the tally onto Envoy? Good prediction by QueenX, gets the double. And now it's down to the last chance for Thieves to touch the B zone. Kenny gives up his position by taking shots through the old captured A zone, but he will be the last opportunity for the Thieves to touch. Good gunfight win as he tries to make his way over through tools. 5 seconds on the clock. He's got to go, got to touch. And with only the last couple of lives remaining, he will not likely get there in time. Toronto will hold the defense, but a lot of tick progression secured by the Thieves.
Yeah, total of 5 segments will be captured for the Thieves. Toronto going to be happy that at least they narrowly got away with the defense round win regardless. You felt like that Thieves' best shake at maybe trying to convert that B control zone was just how long Kenny was alive over top kitchen, bottom lockers. The guy was everywhere. That the only time when he finally got cut down is because he was trying to create more space, getting behind the cliff path. But the moment that Kenny goes down, all the focus for Toronto can then refocus over towards the front, maintain presence top kitchen. position and make sure that that building was at least contested for Thieves to never really get numbers on their side of the map.
Now Ultras go. See what they can do on the offense. Opening defensive stun actually does kind of slow down Ultra's approach toward trying to get to A early. Pixie will still try to burst on towards site, but Draza not going to be denied. Gets all 3 Ultra members that try to work their way onto A early, and now Kenny can actually move past top tower and start to force Ultra to spawn top right side of the minimap.
This is where things can start getting dangerous. You got to deal with Kenny very, very quickly, and before Insight even knows that Kenny's back here, he loses his life. Elsewhere is still a battle for Draza up top admin. Tough gunfight for Scrap. Thought he had a head glitch, but Draza's got the Beamerson on in this map number 3. 5-3 now for Draza. Looking for kill number 6. A cruise missile would be potent on a map mode combination like LSU look control.
Thieves looking indomitable here defensively early. Hixie sneaks on towards the A zone, but he is the only Ultra member here. Draza just hoping he can find some information. There's the intel onto Scrap, but no, not gonna win the gunfight. Now all of a sudden Kenny has to make a decision. Does he contest? Does he give it up? And well, he kind of gets stuck in the gray area of being kind of in between both. And that leads to the first tick of progress. Double stack in for Toronto. Octane trying to clear space. Gets a good look at Hixie. Can't find the kill. Scrap trying to pick it up, and well, one, as that will lead to a full 60 now for Ultra as they capture A.
And Kenny's going to be playing for a couple exits. 60 seconds out on towards the board. 21 lives on 2 different sides. But Toronto Ultra, nobody immediately inside of top green. So Envoy's going to maintain this position inside of tools for now. Also gets the better of Hixie. Immediately traded as he was trying to pop dead silence. But any kill is going to be good. Trades galore will mean that LA Thieves can start chipping away at this clock.
Full hit from Ultra. Coming down B alleyway. Scrap just continues to find gunshots that you don't think he's got an angle at. Octane for the trade. 3v3 towards the zone. CleanX stunned. Can't really make a play on towards the zone itself. Help from Insight. Denied by Draza, who's having himself a whale of a game so far. 14 and 11. And as Octane cleans up CleanX, now it's down to under 60 seconds for Ultra to start to get some progress over towards B.
Not really worried about the lives. You're just trying to get these kills so that way you can get out from your spawn. Envoy pushed up over by the house and is just denying Ultra any exit from their base. That's going to force them to spawn parallel over by the A control zone. It's already been captured. And now you're pushing into the waiting hands of Kenny. Envoy still able to find 2 more kills. 37 seconds left in the round.
The Steve's defense coming across as menacing. Draza now on 4 in a row. 16 and 11. Give him the 5th. Tries to step away. Oh my goodness. Nearly goes to the drop shot and takes down Insight, but the killing spree comes to an end. Ultra, maybe a chance for one last touch here. 20 seconds to play. But there's only 3 members that are still up. And as Draza continues to tally kill after kill, Ultra's chances at putting any significant approach towards B start to dwindle, and Thieves are looking good to hold Ultra just to the A zone, and barely a footstep made on towards B in this defensive round as Thieves dominate.
Oh my goodness, did they ever? I mean, how annoying is it, honestly? That point where you're just probably looking at the KDs, you're looking at the stats, even from Ultra's POV, and you're just like, okay, well, at least we're finding a couple trades, but where's Draza? And by the time you were even trying to think where Draza's at, now you also got to be worried about Envoy. LA Thieves, what they've been able to do on this map mode combination in recent history has just been berating enemy teams in their base just on 2 different fronts. If it's Draza and Kenny over by the A control zone, it's going to be Envoy constantly getting pressure inside that house. You have one of the greatest safety nets as an AR with Octane overwatching the play.
Huge advantage for the Thieves through the first 2 rounds. Does require Ultra to put together just as hefty of a defense. And the first couple of kills are solid. Envoy up top trying to chase down Hixie. At least sees that he snuck through. So that kind of alerts the rest of the Thieves off spawn to keep an eye out for him, and the kill comes through very swiftly. 2 for 1, the opening exchange, and actually LA's got a lot of room to work with here at mid. Envoy is just pushed straight through, but Hixie off spawn tallies the kill, and with that, Ultra's defense starts to make a move forward.
And Kenny down at 2 HP. Can't necessarily push too far forward, and Insight off of the respawn since losing his left top tower will find that kill onto Kenny. Now you can start pressing up. You are Scrap. Inside of admin gets the better of Draza immediately. Nobody pushing for the Thieves to try to find that trade. Hixie's still trying to cause a little bit more distress around the fact he gets found out. But all these trades are going to be so good for the Thieves. Nobody for Ultra is top tower to try to immediately stop this.
Quick kills out. CleanX last one to stand for Ultra's defense here on the A zone. First tick of progress looking good. The second is going to be quick to follow with a 3-man stack. And Ultra are not going to have a chance here to put together that same setup that we saw in round 1 of their defense, to where they could just flood and swarm at the same time. And yeah, this time they will have to concede the extra 60 seconds. 23 plays 20, Ultra still with a life lead, but Thieves starting to cook with some gas here as they're finding the exit kills.
Yep, sure are. And now you can start putting players all the way over towards the flank. Kenny's back towards his devious and most mischievous actions, and that is the very long flank. It's going to take all of his dead silence before he gets into this engagement versus Scrap. Doesn't even need it. Envoy beans him over by the B zone. 3-player strong Thieves are here.
Now Kenny can be a distraction here at Pride Rock. Long range shots clean from Kenny.
Wow.
And that's going to be the second tick of progress in. 3-man stack on the way. Could anyone from Ultra even get here to even look at the zone? A couple of the kills come through, and oh my goodness, the cleanup is decent. Kenny still trying to hold his life, but no, cannot quite find the final bit of progress needed to take the offense with control. So now it's down to, can you find a way to get back on, tally the rest of that third tick of progress, and go up 2-1?
Scrap having to wait for the regen before you can start depleting this B zone progress even more so. Hixie off the respawn was trying to get behind enemy lines. Kenny, so much wiser, is going to take him down. The initial kills just absolutely erupt for Toronto Ultra. Insight's got to find 2, and now you can start taking a little bit more map space away. 14 plays up against 2, 45 seconds remaining.
Kleenex up top, looking to stay on the offensive side of the map. Hixie, couple of shots out, will force the hand of the Thieves. Insight still behind this play. Scrap also a bit caught playing on the soccer wall. And as Thieves clear out the interior of the building, now it's just down to trying to get onto the zone itself. Scrap going to be in a lot of trouble here. Needs some help, and he gets it. Kleenex cleans out Drama. And with that, Scrap takes his focus forward. Clean kills coming out for Scrap on 4. Now keep in mind, though, the ticks of progress that have already been tallied. Toronto very well may get this round, but they are going to have back-to-back offenses if we get to a 5th.
Yep, you're not wrong. That's going to be 10 segments should the clock just fully deplete or the lives get cut down, whatever is more convenient for Ultra here in the final few seconds. Yeah, it's just going to wait inside of Billiards. Late timing, doesn't matter. Everybody's dropped around him. Octane, 1v odd? No, not going to happen. All right. It almost feels like that the B zone defensively control for Ultra is almost like a cannon. It's starting to run out of lives. And the amount of times that they've just been coming over here and just stopping that progress just at a split second before it fully gets tacked over is just so crazy. The amount of ways that they were able to just fully erupt out from tools and find 3 dead just so quickly for Ultra, required, but still silly nonetheless. As Ultra will hold on, but as you say, Alan, it's going to have to be back-to-back offenses if they want to take a massive swing that mode combination here in the 3.
Toronto happens to be the number 2 ranked attacking win percentage team on this map. However, Thieves number 3 on defense. So is it going to be the unstoppable force or the immovable object? Kleenex quickly around the back. He may surprise Octane. No, not to happen. He gets the tally, no worries. And a couple of early kills for Thieves allows them a chance to maybe even push a little bit further forward. Scrap gets his elimination. Good response to Kenny, but gets unfortunate little melee there, and the long-range shots from Hixie not quite good enough to take care of Draza. Thieves defensively looking good off the break.
And Insight's gonna find that trade, but it's all just consolation trades at that because you still got Thieves members in your base. Kenny's all the way over inside of house. Scrap's gonna be unfortunately confused as to how Kenny's still going to be able to stay alive. Runs right into the waiting arms of Insight off of the respawn. Just down to 38 seconds through the opening break. LA Thieves have only lost 3 lives.
Envoy in a position to foil. Gets the first, steps away from any further trade. Help from Octane keeps the numbers in place for the Thieves. Scrap only getting 1 trade is not going to be good enough, and the clock continues to tick down to under 30 seconds. Kenny's got a really good idea on where Scrap's positioned, but a little jump out. Kenny can't quite lock in the shots. Octane on 4. Knows that he's got to keep his life as Ultra starts to send all 4 members forward in towards this A zone. 2 on for the moment. First tick of progress on the way in. Kills also coming through for Ultra. Kenny, though, a double around the back makes things maybe a little bit easier for Draza to approach. He sees Hixie on the cross on the way in, but does not expect... Oh, my goodness! He didn't expect Scrap there, but he still gets the shots to connect for the kill. And then Envoy deals with Hixie behind the boxes. Down to 12 seconds, and Ultra look like they may have to do this in around 5 offenses. Draza continues to find kills.
So got to deal with Octane and towards the back, down to 18 HP. Gets into another one versus Scrap. He was going to be the last player to potentially touch the A zone. Comes down to Hixie. Deals with a very weak Octane, but the numbers just too good from the LA Thieves. Yeah, we're going to a round 5, but I would say that that's a pretty convincing defense for the Thieves, again, who are really not historically all too great when it comes down to defenses on LSCLO control. Here's the replay from Draza. He just gets gifted the barrel stuff down to 80 HP by throwing a nade right into the trophy system. I mean, Scrap's got to be feeling some type of way off of that for sure. But even more so than that, Thieves are absolutely playing with the heat here in this map number 3, really cementing the reason why they were able to take this even off of Optic Texas.
All right, last chance here for Ultra on their offense, but Thieves have put together 2 straight immensely convincing defenses. Huge swing map in this series between 2 powerhouse teams right now in the CDL. Draza already gonna get to top tower. Ultra looking to kind of flood from the front. Kenny reads it. Semtex is good. Follow-up shots better on the inside, and Ultra once again come off the break off, not finding a single kill.
Kenny went like 0.64 at the opening hard point. Whatever to me, if you can go 25-19 as he is standing right now, this guy is frying. Only lost a single life so far. There's the second. Draza will go down top tower. Kenny trying to at least pick things up. That's a force free that gets put to rest. Numbers now here for Ultra. Not necessarily in a position to try to press up further forward, but if you can get players on the zone and deny more space from the Thieves, the 60 seconds could be yours.
Octane dropping almost guarantees the second tick in its own right. Draza lurking top office. Gets some help from Kenny, who takes care of Scrap, trying to take away the cross. So now the contest in towards zone just before the third tick of progress can be locked in. Kenny, big gunfight win. No one else for Ultra on at the moment. Stun out. Kenny dealt with. That will be the extra 60 seconds. Thieves with the 1 life lead.
Just a single life lead. Oh, Kleenex gets caught as soon as he was trying to push in bottom lockers. And we saw how good it was when Kenny was able to do that offensively for the Thieves, and Scrap's gonna get cut down trying to get inside of tools, not immediately traded. For Ultra in this moment in time, while the rest of the players are trying to come off a respawn, you need a player like Hixie or anybody to cause ruckus over on this side of the map.
Gunfight win on the Envoy. Hixie still looking to hold his life backside tools. And oh boy, Kleenex has actually gotten around and cleaned out the back van position. So now you've got Hixie on. First tick of progress, looking good for the lock. Octane still playing on the right side. The rest of Thieves spawning up bottom left, trying to make their way on. Scrap flushes out Octane. Second tick of progress now rapidly coming through. This is going to get locked in. Hold on a second. Envoy, it will be scouted out from behind. Have Ultra found a way to do it? Kenny needs to go, and he cannot get there in time. Ultra sneaked their way behind the B's site, get the kills they need, and Thieves, for the first time, they bend defensively. Wouldn't you know it? They end up breaking.
Sound the alarm. We got a robbery of a map number 3, and Ultra just stole that one away. You see the reaction on Draza's face, just in disbelief. Comparatively for Ultra, it is all strictly business. We always end up saying, both you and I, Shift, it truly does always take one convincing hit when it comes down to control, especially for El Asilo. You go 4 dead around that B control zone, nobody's spawning up immediately. You spawn in Narnia all the way over by your shack, and you are not going to get there in time. You're going to get berated by nades, stuns, bullet fire, whatever may have you. 32 and 20 for Scrap, almost drops a 4K damage performance on the control. My heavens, I mean, LA Thieves were just about doing everything right. I mean, their last defense that we saw previous to this final round was absolutely stellar. Their opening offense just narrowly missed out on getting that last segment at B, not just the first time, but also the second. You felt like this was Thieves' map to lose, and well, wouldn't you know, now Ultra have a 2-1 lead in the series.
The thing about it was there's really nothing you could be upset about if you're the Thieves through the first 4 2/3 of this control. And ultimately, when we get down to the nitty-gritty, at the very end, it just simply comes to the fact that Hixie keeps his life inside of tools. A player from Ultra sneaks around the back, takes care of Octane behind Van. And after that, Thieves just continue to spawn back left, and there's just never a route that they can get safely to actually approach the zone, because up until that point, the defense was absolutely perfect.
I mean, they went about a whole minute, 45 seconds maybe, where they only lost 2 lives in the opening round. Ultra, ever resilient. It's just so good at just relentlessly striking all these massive focal points. And it's like we said, you know, what worked so well for the Thieves in their offensive rounds was because they had players like Kenny or Octane, Envoy, whoever was in the best position to try to cause a ruckus over on the defensive side of green. This time it was Hixie, like you said, to cause distress, to always make Thieves think that that was a point of contact that they had to deal with. And by that point, he had a crossfire along with an AR on the back line. Scrap, 1.60 KD. The only player to win positive. I mean, Hixie was keeping pace with him realistically, like for the first round or so. it's just the power that is Scrap, man. I mean, he's an all-star for a reason. Even with 11 assists, he was laying down so much damage. And it's not that he's just doing it by himself. He's also enabling his team to perform well, too.
25 of those kills, by the way, were non-traded. He also tallied a number of assists and update as far as how the series is going for Scrap. Currently 82 and 55 in the series. The highest number of total kills came in a 5-game series. It was Pred with 119. And with an Embassy hardpoint coming up next, you start to think that maybe this series will continue to be racked full of record-breaking moments, because the opening hardpoint, Scrap had record respawn kills for the L. Kenny had record respawn deaths for the win. So what does this Embassy have to offer for us here, Proper, is the question we consider.
Well, I think if Scrap drops another 40 bomb and it ends in an L, I think we can go ahead and convincingly say that Scrap is stat padding. No, I'm absolutely kidding. I'm kidding. But I mean, look, when it comes down to the Embassy hardpoint, I honestly think that records were meant to be broken. And Scrap, we always knew that this guy, when he bounced onto the scene, back in Cold War, he was like playing with like Mochilla back in like 2Ks and stuff like that. Hearing his comms, we knew he was going to be a star. Guy bounces onto the scene. We knew it was only going to be a matter of time. He finds himself on this Ultra squadron along with Hixie inside and Kleenex, and it has just been time and time again. He has just been showing up and showing out. But this is the Vanguard chance on the other side. That's a major 4 chance. As far as recency is concerned, LA Thieves should absolutely push us to a map number 5. The stats speak for themselves.
They do, but there is still that first place rank and hold percentage for Toronto. So when it comes to improving upon your win-loss record on this map mode combination, it has to be about winning rotation, getting yourself set up, and not allowing this dangerous and feisty Thieves team to break. A big, tall question looms to if they can actually do it, though. And boy, I'll tell you, if the action over these first couple of days of the Major 5 qualifiers haven't enticed you, I imagine Toronto itself will provide the action you're looking for. Hixie for the first blood, immediately on towards the hard point. Talk about just a commitment to getting onto the OBJ here for Toronto as they follow up with clean kills behind it.
Both these two teams are rather low when it comes down to the rotation percentage on Embassy Hardpoint. 11th ranked for Toronto, 10th for LA Thieves. So it really does feel like whichever team is going to get to these bunny hills first, if they can win the opening gunfights, it'll probably be closer to 60 than it is further away. Recontesting over by P1, 25 seconds still maintain itself for Toronto Ultra to try to stay alive on this parking lot side ahead of the P2 rotation.
Teams, though, don't just neutralize. They also find a chance to get on, earn some time of their own, although Hixie, quick to follow up, knows he's got Envoy close by. There's the shadow check-in with it. Hixie wins the gunfight, nearly gets the snap up top to Kenny as well. But as Kenny wins the gunfight, the Thieves have now created a bit of an opportunity, or so you'd think, to work around the storage area and try to find a way to threaten this second hard point from the front. Toronto will spawn favorably behind the hill. Octane trying to dissuade that setup. And as a couple of the kills will turn Ultra's heads around, here comes the hit from the Thieves from the front. Insight in trouble. Tag down to 31 HP. Hixie, though, off the pitch. No, shut down. Kenny, Draza clean up the kills, and Thieves find their way into a break.
Yep, and there's that break percentage really coming through for LA Thieves. A lot of time still left to be tacked over when it comes down towards P2. Nice Semtex from Scrap. Could be the opening. Is denied immediately from the trades. So some more gunfights to be had here for about 25 seconds or so. Off of a pretty good start for Draza, 5 and 3. Scrap trying to chase down that kill tally. He's at 7 and 2 now.
Bro, he is not missing shots. Scrap continues to put together some unbelievable gunfights, up to 7 and 3. Ultra will get the scrap time. Thieves going to be tested here on rotation as Ultra have an exit and an opportunity for Kleenex to kind of play this from the opposite windows. So now all of a sudden the focus for Thieves gets a little bit distracted between two different points of entry. Draza thinking he could clean up the bridge side, but doesn't expect Insight to be so close, and it'll be Kleenex trying to jump on for the additional time. Octane, though, not to be denied or forgotten about. A big double keeps an opportunity for Thieves to try to reach out.
Yeah, as long as Octane is always hovering around like 0.96, 1.0, you feel like that Thieves can surely do no wrong. Up through the ladder, he'll find a few more. The cleanup is soon to follow, but it's Draza to get the last laugh on the kill towards Kleenex. Maintain this map positioning now for the Thieves as they look to soak up 30 seconds.
That was filthy from Octane. Thieves in, 25 seconds to fight. Ultra still trying to think about contesting this exit. Draza, though, gets one big elimination, and then Envoy cleans up Hixie, trying to play through bottom stairs. Scrap time confirmed. Take us to a lead, swap it over to admin.
Ultra gonna be here first. Can you hold on? Just because your number 1 hold percentage doesn't mean you're not going against the number 3 break percentage team on this map. Octane's going to be up top. That's going to be a tough gunfight any which way that you look at it. I mean, you were essentially hidden behind the panel if you are Hixie, and has some nice beam shots to speak to Draza. Ultra will be in first for the initial time of 4.
Scrap with the one, trusted to lock down anyone coming through this side staircase doorway. On the opposite side of the map, Kleenex, he's trying to walk through the hallways. There's the alarm system. Scrap tries to turn. No, Kenny gets a double. Does hold off just a touch. Kleenex makes safe the halls. Looking for Draza. Finds him. Gets the gunfight win. Back towards the hill. Our tension goes. Ultra trying to hold from inside the site. Thieves still spawning in the worst possible position. So this hit is limited to just 2 members, and both will drop. Ultra take the first convincing lead with still 20 seconds to soak.
All right, Charlie, we get it. It's not just the Embassy Search and Destroy. It's also the Embassy Hardpoint. 12 and 8 now for Hixie, up on the 3 spree. That's going to couple along nicely for Kleenex, who finds himself on a 4 spree, but he is down to 35 HP, and it's going to be good damage, especially out of this rotation towards P5. Your Faz Nets are already flying for Ultra. Just got to somehow find your way into where these Thieves players are located at.
Hardpoint changes. Draza gets one, but was weakened enough towards Kenny. Unfortunately, tallies a team kill, but Envoy, as he's tested, provides a needed double. Thieves still in a position to reinforce the hard point, but Insight's double kill kind of allows an opportunity for Ultra to get their setup going. And how about Insight runs forward, takes down kill 6 and 7. That will get the break plus the cruise missile. Ultra a chance to blow the lid right off this game.
SMGs typically reign this hill as far as supremacy for weapons, but I mean, Insight would love to make an argument for it. Picks up a Vaznev off the ground. Envoy is just about one shot. Kleenex aware of it, will find that trade. 20 seconds left here at the end of the first set, in Ultra are looking to take a commanding lead over the Thieves.
Oh, they're getting it. Hixie mid-map stops anybody else from LA from even considering a challenge of the scrap time. So we'll exit our first rotation, and it's Ultra up an absolute metric ton. 60-point gap. Scrap, more damage through mid. Goodness, they're just not missing at the moment. LA in a bit of disassembly as they need to start to get together and put some focus on towards these hills because it's starting to get dangerous quick.
Oh, Scrap, he's going to pinch us from down low. Nice read by Envoy to expect Scrap to drop down. We'll take him down from the backside of the bridge. Hixie actually spawns in a position to try to pick it up. We'll take Envoy off the hard point. But the real battle, I mean, Thieves are technically winning. They got players top paper around Laundry as well, trying to maintain presence around the Xbox in the mid lane. That's their avenue to fully work back into this hard point.
ARs for Thieves starting to get the opening gunfight wins, providing some space for the subs to start to make their moves either onto the objective or into some key positions as we head towards rotation. Toronto fighting back. 18 seconds of scrap time. Hixie thinking he can just tally all this up and once again put Toronto in above a about 55-point lead. Thieves, though, looking to flood from behind the second hard point. Insight in their way. Scrap also here to contest, and the kills continue to come through. Envoy's the only one to survive, and as the second hard point opens up, Toronto have the numbers to jump on immediately.
Yep, they sure do. I mean, you got Scrap in a position, had him in a position to try to deny anybody from coming around the backside of admin, but completely gets overwhelmed. Pinched through the middle of the map. Kenny, Draza are here to play. Draza up on this too, is trying to play on the backside of this Godheady. Cruise missile also being called in at this moment of time. Not gonna find any kills, but at least find some players some space to maneuver through the middle of the map into the waiting hands of Envoy. He'll find a 2-piece. These will maintain presence on the hill.
That double for Envoy creates a bit of a buffer. Some breathing room here for the Thieves that are on the hard point, but the nades now start to land as the trophy system gets extinguished. So right back in go Toronto. 20 seconds of scrap time. Envoy trying to put together a finesse hit on Old, and he gets both. Huge play from Envoy. It may seem like marginal time, but this brings LA back to within 30 seconds of a tie. And as they start to approach over towards server, an apt time to take a listen in with the LA Thieves.
Ladder, scrap. Ladder. Come on. On ladder, bro. There's 2 there, Zach. Orange, Zach.
That's 1v1.
I think it's gaslight.
Yep, you go on top. Hit orange. Hit him once. Look at orange.
Yeah.
Orange door. He didn't go top.
I got it.
He didn't come out. He's still in orange.
We are trying to go.
Orange stairs. Stop orange stairs. He's
I'm close to D1. I pinch gaslight, bro. Give me D1 stairs, I think.
No trap. D1. He's front D1. Front D1. Hotbox. Hotbox spot orange. Hotbox looking for P1. Hotbox. Gotta get one. Hotbox dead. Nice. Just swing out. That's my gas.
I'm orange right now. On the top, tell me. He's right top.
I'm coming.
In low orange.
Sunday, this shit.
Low orange top.
Time.
He's P1. I spawned kind of close, bro.
I'll see you got P1.
I stunned him.
I tried to start out. One shot. He's on the heady. That's one more time.
P1 dead. I'm here. Top PD.
That's good. Orange again.
Orange now.
I can help you.
He's running out. Yeah, play here. On halls with you.
Alright, next field.
Yeah, we have to get this on. Let's go. We're good.
I'm ready to do it.
On the dead. There's two deaths.
Give me a second.
LA doing their best to keep themselves in this game, but with a 13 and 21 performance from Octane and a 14 and 24 performance from Kenny, they just can't quite get over the pressure that Ultra are maintaining, with Scrap and Hixie absolutely frying at the moment.
Yep. I mean, it's almost the exact opposite of what we got from the map number 1. Thieves getting outslayed, but this time around, Ultra getting the slays while also getting the majority of the time. But hold your horses, because now Envoy's really starting to heat things up in a massive way, up on a 4 spree. It's an integral point for Thieves to fully break inside. P4 still soaking up time.
If he could get a cruise missile, that would be instrumental. Of course, not necessarily going from scrap to initial here on this hard point, but trying to deter any setups as we head to 1 or 2. And these kills are clean for LA. Scrap still takes a double. Thinking about maybe trying to go for this on the exit. He gets 3 of the 4, so even though there will not be a contest for the scrap, it does allow Ultra a chance to get their setup going here at Kitchen.
Ultra gonna be here first. They broke it last time for Thieves and actually get a respectable time there at 3 going in towards P4. Bring this just within 17. Ultra looking to hold players in and around the hard point. I mean, Hixie was out on an island over by tennis courts. Thieves are gonna be aware they have a full 3v3 for this hill.
Back and forth go the kills. Linex still holding in towards cafeteria. Only gets 1. Scrap left alive. Fastnev in hand. Does the damage needed. Can he keep his life, though? He's being pressured. Oh, my goodness. Scrap, what in the world? Trophy system down. Scrap gets 3. And Ultra secure the hard point. Thieves looking good for the break, but Scrap flat out denies them. 31 and 22, and Ultra can smell the win.
This kid is so different, man. 219 to 184. Contest is in as well. Envoy trying to do everything he possibly can for the Thieves. Will at least extend it towards another rotation, but I mean, we are just picking at straws at this point, brother. 227 to 185. Ultra about to call game.
Inside Kleenex still trying to hold on to this scrap time. Draza gets the opening 2. Scrap working with Kleenex, and Ultra will not be denied a single second as Scrap continues to destroy the Thieves on the exit. 242, 185. Ultra can feel it. Hixie tested over through orange as LA try to find a way to neutralize the hard point, and for the time being they will do so, but Scrap is still alive, and that's apparently all you need. Scrap, last one to find is in bathroom, will not get the kill, but he does take down Octane at range, and bang! Ultra shut down the stage 4 champs and secure themselves as a major threat moving to the end of the year.
Along with that, Scrap has now taken the most kill tally in 4 games, Alan. It was previously held by none other than Envoy. With that 30 bombs, Scrap will make another stamp in Call of Duty history. Confused faces for LA Thieves. You really did feel like we should be setting ourselves up for a map 5. That map number 3, they might just lose a lot of sleep over, but Toronto came to play. Scrap was so consistent. It's what you expect out of the young buck, the rookie here for Ultra. 37 and 23 with almost 4K damage again. This guy is undeniable. He's coming different this stage, Alan. Look out.
I mean, what else do you need to say? He ends up tying, by the way, the 5-game kill record by Pred at 119 kills. So the fact that he does it in 4, unbelievable. 27 non-traded, another near 4K damage game. I mean, just give him the 4K. Are you kidding? But take a look at Charlie Hixie below him. 28 and 22, 23 non-traded, and he gets a minute and a half in the hardpoint time? Come on.
I mean, I think, again, it just kind of accentuates that point that I was talking about with Scrap. I mean, the guy is always going to drop numbers. It's very rare in Call of Duty that we're going to sit there and say, oh, we always expect a player to drop just cataclysmic-like numbers. But, I mean, Scrap always delivers on it. But it's even more so than that, right? It's not just useless kills. Like, he's putting himself in really good positions to enable the rest of his teammates, like Hixie, to go unnoticed through the hallways, through the middle of the map. Same for Kleenex and Insight to also play off of that pressure. I mean, Scrap, he's just something else, man. I don't know what to say about that kid. He's something different.
That's all you can say. There's not a gunfight he doesn't want. There's not a gunfight he won't take. Doesn't matter the health, doesn't matter the ammunition, doesn't matter who's on the other side. And with that, Toronto win our final series of the day. The Dash standing by to wrap everything up.
119 kills, and you only played 4 maps. One of those was Search and Destroy. This guy's different. Thank you
He's
very
unbelievable,
much,
Puckett.
Shift and Proper. As we say goodbye, we say hello again to Alley Cat and Nameless as we break down this series. Scrap, of course, the rookie, the front runner for Rookie of the Year, powering his squad into my S tier. After seeing this matchup, you have to say this is the squad to compete with Optic and LA Thieves for the next title.
I think you wipe your memory of Major 4 qualifiers and even more Major 4 itself when it comes to Toronto Ultra. I mean, statistically, I will have to lay it out for you in the fact that LA Thieves coming off of Major 4 was #1 in every single category, including Search and Destroy, where Toronto Ultra was the worst in the league. Well, they take them out #2 in a dominating fashion, and then we head into that LSU round #5. They're on the offensive side, and it is just a picture-perfect offensive round out of Toronto Ultra. They're executing their game plans, and not only that, Insight really turned up for me when it came to that head-to-head AR battle against the MVP, and as well as Scrappy, just once again solidifying himself as the front-runner of Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, this just proves like I was never worried about this team, and the reason being was there's always context when you look at these matches that they've had. There were so many round 10s, round 11s that they lost, 3-9 in Search and Destroy. With a roster like this, you don't expect that to keep on happening, right? So they come into here, they make some adjustments. I love what I saw in their offenses here. Kleenex getting up close and personal, and he was still making plays at times, but also they were getting that bomb down, which is something I really enjoyed seeing them do in that Search and Destroy, beating Thieves on one of their best maps there, and then Scrap throughout this series taking it over, especially in the pressure moments. I mean, you talk about round 5 control, insta-capping A, rotating through mid, picking up the kills through kegs. That is what you want to see. And when you put up a stat line like that, you're going to have an easy time, and that's exactly what happened, 3-1.
Impressive stuff here from Toronto Ultra. Tonight, they are going to pick up their second win here in the opening week of qualifiers. Let's take a look, though, at tonight's Scuff Play of the Game, featuring the rookie Scrap with the 3K in the kitchen doing work. Allie, break it down for me.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to break it down than just some serious pure gunning out of this guy. And this was a really big turning moment as well. So the Kitchen Hill, Toronto Ultra had the early rotation, but LA Thieves were able to break in within 40 seconds still left. This would have put them back in the game and in a spot to possibly close it out. So for him to get that huge 3-piece and re-solidify that time for the Toronto Ultra was a huge play from Scrap.
Big game-changing play as Toronto seals the deal in Game 4, not risking a second Search and Destroy against LA Thieves. And you can see what it means to Scrap. The man is fired up. Joining us live, though, we have to talk with Hixie, the man right behind him on the scoreboard. Hixie, welcome to the show. Welcome to the winner's circle. A ridiculous finish. And actually, Hixie's audio is not working, so pause on that. Allie, let's wrap up this series, though. LA Thieves, are you worried at all? Your team's already locked in for champs.
I'm not worried at all because I feel like when we get online sometimes, like we talked about this pre-match setup, LA Thieves gets a mental block when it comes to online qualifiers every once in a while. And I think this is one of those situations where they started off a little bit wonky, even though that map won, they end up pulling out that W. And Toronto Ultra has just been looking so good at the start of this qualifier.
Nameless, we have 3 matches remaining for Toronto. Could they be our #1 seed heading into their home major? They have Optic Texas, LAG, and Minnesota left to play.
Without question. I think, Toronto's right in that mix. I mean, they're a top 4 team, and, after these 2 performances that we've seen, we saw they made the adjustments. Scrap potentially can be the best player in the game, right? Like, he took over today. So if he can continue that, they absolutely have a chance to win Toronto. They're going to be a contender for sure.
We have another day of action still to come tomorrow. Remember, matches kick off at 3 o'clock. But as we revisit everything on the day, especially from this series, was Toronto the best squad we watched today? Is Boston the best squad? How do you rank them, Nameless?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough between LA Thieves and Toronto. Like, these guys can play 10 times. It can be 5-5 in match count, right? So I will give it to Toronto, but I am the most impressed by Boston Breach and their turnaround that they've had. I love what I saw from them. The teamwork today, I think Vivid being on this team, being sort of that leader and that glue, worked out great. I mean, you won 2 hard points today. You were not able to do that with that last roster. You're 1-8.
All right, excellent stuff here as Toronto gets the latest win on a 4-match day. Let's take you back, though, to the start of the day where we kicked things off in Minnesota. St. Paul hosting the second home series for Rocker, and we saw the fans get behind their squad early. A 3-0 over London. They'd made quick work of the squad coming in.
Yeah, just following the script for our match number 1 here when it goes to Minnesota Rocker versus the London Royal Ravens. I don't think there was a whole lot to write home about other than maybe Vance's triple nade was crazy, and we got kind of that look back into Afro being one of those more terrifying, pressure-pushing SMGs on the map. But, I mean, just a pretty, as it was supposed to go series, as I said.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about Minnesota and the home series advantage, like, we've been gassing them a little bit, but they've only beaten Florida, LAG, and London. When we talk about those matches they've had, right?
So you beat the bottom 3 seeds.
You beat the bottom 3 seeds, and you've beat the worst Seattle Surge that we have ever seen, right? So I gave you that stat yesterday, right? So for Minnesota, now they're doing just what they need to do. When will they exceed that level and go to the next level and solidify themselves as the top 8 squad? Las Vegas is still right on their heels, so they got some work to do.
There you do have just 3 matches left. As we take a look at Vegas, they also have played 2 series. This time they get a dub after back-to-back Game 5s. Clayster gets the win and was in the winner's circle to talk about it.
Yeah, this was not only, I think, a massive W over New York Subliners, but a massive win fundamentally for the Vegas Legion. The fact that they were able to capitalize on the fact that New York allowed their worst hardpoint to slip through for that map 1 and win it in the fashion that they did, and then also win the Expo Control, where they have been struggling all season. They were gifted with a map and mode that they were comfortable on. They win it in a 3-0 fashion, and then they don't lose the Game 5 Search and Destroy. My biggest worry point for the Vegas Legion, because Search and Destroy, they were number 2 in the league coming off of major number 4. They lost 2 to Optic Texas yesterday in that Game 5. Heading up against New York Subliners today, I'm happy they were able to close it out.
They clutch up in the Game 5, and Vegas stays in the race for 8th. Nameless, looking forward for this squad. How do you feel about a Vegas team that is going to be chasing a team like Boston Breach?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tall task, because what we saw out of Boston today, I mean, they looked absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, they have a lot of players on their team, and they're just trying to find the right combination. And at least from that look, it looks like they found it. From what we saw from Awakening and Beans today, they looked way more free on the map. Vivid playing that objective time, being the first man in, is allowing players like Kremp to go on these crazy sprees and make plays on the pinch, which then sets up the ARs, right? So, you know, a lot of little things in the fundamentals that they were lacking that were cleaner today.
Very close games, but Boston is able to edge out Rocker as Boston picks up their first win of the Major 5 qualifier. And I think everyone here at the desk wants to say, welcome back, Vivid. We missed you, buddy. Awesome to see you frying with the squad once again. That is a look at all of the matches on the day. And of course, we had a big effect on our standings, as everyone is going to be looking to lock in our top 8. Comfortable positioning right now for the Breach at 170 points. Rocker are holding the door at 160. Vegas just 2 games back, and everyone else beneath it, well, you're running out of time.
Yeah, still a lot of opportunities. It really is the race between those 3 teams. And Vegas Legion, you know, are probably really mad at Minnesota Rocker right now for not pulling out that W against the Boston Breach.
I think the cutoff's going to be like 200. I'm making a good guess.
200?
Yeah, Vegas need to win 6 more matches, and they're good.
All right, looking back on the day, best series of the evening?
I'm going to go with the Boston. Actually, no. New York and Vegas is the best.
New York, Vegas?
That was good.
Allie, best gameplay you watched tonight?
Best gameplay, like player, team? Team Toronto. They look disgusting.
Okay, there you have it. Tomorrow, let's see who's in action, as it's a 3-match Sunday. We kick things off with the Mutineers versus Gorillas. One of them's getting 10 points. FaZe is taking on Optic, though. That is going to be our marquee matchup at 4:30. And we have another banger for you at 6 o'clock. 3 of your top 4 teams, in fact, 4 of our top 5 teams all in action tomorrow. A fantastic Saturday. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch and YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow at headquarters, 2:45 Eastern, right here.
Pick up where I left off, it ain't over. Whole squad on the gravel, all I know, I'm a soldier staying up. Attitude, swift, forget the trick. Back to mission, no surrender, just commitment. I see vision, eyes closed, shut, heart monitor going crazy. Mad as panicking. Woke up from the stretcher in the red, removing the bandages. Hopes up, I'ma catch you at the man. These are these damages. Power level breaking screens, they like, way. Look at them scampering. Rejuvenated, reborn, I'm basically the man again. Made the world stand still, they amazed. Frozen like mannequins. Kick the door off the hinges, make waves. So when these vanishing, they ain't think I was able, but I'm came when it come to savageness. I'ma finish it. I'ma finish it. Still got a little fight. I'ma finish it. Little this, little that. Everywhere when pulling triggers full of max. Talking feces cause they full of that. Ain't really G's, they GNAPs, they really just next. Scratch them off, power balls. Look at them spinning, they really spin offs. Getting me dizzy, give me a headache, maybe when I turn my head off, I could really use the Tylenol. Candy rappers talking good and plenty.